Welcome, my lovely dears, to the first of hopefully many fantabulous sessions of the Western Chivalrics, or Chivalry in the West. Really, it's some combination of all of them. Ah, often enough, we dive into when last we left off, but that's not the case at all. Instead, we begin with the setting at large. Welcome, of course, to the Western Chivalrics, a place that is very inspired by, well, chivalry, Arthurian legend, and of course the darker sides. There's still plenty of pull from things like the grimmer parts of Lord of the Rings and Kingdom Death Monster and Dark Souls and all of that good stuff. Indeed, this starting scene here is a tastefully repainted Dark Soulsian town. Some of you may recognize it. There are in the setting a great many chivalric or knightly orders. They came into being to protect the common people from the monsters and beasts that would bring them harm, and to protect a group known as the Assembly of Minds, which is at the center of a castle of great marble where a mysterious mage known as the Eternal King lives. Indeed, living in the chivalrics is no mean feat, and these knights are often called upon. Monsters lurk in the darkness and shadows. The flora and fauna themselves are often considered to be malevolent, and the woods are a deep and dark beast of their own, where the trees come to life and spirits try to eat men. Our players here are going to be members of different knightly orders, some the same as each other, but in general there is a nice spread of different people and their oaths. But before we get to the players and to their knightly orders, and indeed where they are and what they're doing at this very second, we're going to take that cinematic camera pan zoom away from what would have been a delightful open field clearing full of knights doing knightly things, and to an old mine shaft, rickety racks, and approaching closer and closer is the sound of wheels on metal, clank, 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 clank. And riding in a minecart are a number of screaming individuals. At their very lead is a very young girl who appears to be perhaps 13, 14, with long golden hair. And she is being pushed down further into the cart as she squeals in a combination of fear and excitement by another group of people. It would appear to be a whole group of brigands and bandits more than anything. And as they come crashing through the mine in this cart, they blow their way out through an opening, a rock and shitty wooden barricade put together as they are chased by goblins throwing spears. Unfortunately, there's no bridge ahead of them leading out of this mine, and their cart goes tumbling into a lake. But we don't know these people. Not yet, at least. Our people here aren't, scruffy brigands and bandits and children. No, they are proud adventuring knights. Some very recently moved to a position of knighthood, and others, they've been knights for a little while, although they've only just recently come into their own. We're going to go through all the characters now. As we open up, there is again, this beautiful field we'd swept away from before. A number of large tents roasting campfires with juicy meats on it, a number of tables with people drinking and telling stories. There's music playing from goodness knows how many bards, some entering and exiting the song at large as they go. Tristan, who are you? Where are you? What are you doing at this gathering?
All right. You see a knight, for surely that is what he is, though his equipment is not quite so shining and elegant as some of the others. It's clearly of cheaper make, though sturdy nonetheless, and it's seen probably more than its fair share of action, more than you'd guess based on how young the fellow wearing it is. He's maybe 19 or early 20s with shaggy, unkempt brown hair down to his shoulders and enough beard that hasn't seen a trim anytime soon. He's got a dragon's crest belted onto his cloak and carries a long sword at his side, but right now he's taken a knee next to his encampment and is running a whetstone over the head of a long knightly lance, getting that nice and sharp and ready.
Perfect. And as you're doing so, sat at your side and sketching in a small book is a young red-headed woman. She's been watching you on and off after your most gallant and knightly performance. For, as all of you, you have done something to stand out from the rest of the crowd amongst these, young and proving themselves knights. What did you do that was so great?
Well, everyone knows the story of Sir Bors the Boar, a once truly legendary knight, although in his advancing age he has become rather rotund, earning himself the nickname much less kindly now. He was still more or less undefeated on the tourney field until today, when this young upstart finally got a lance just under that shield and knocked the boar clear off his horse, and broke the lance all the way down to the hilt in the process. No mean feat.
Excellent. Perfect. Yes, in fact, you can see what's the young lady beside you, if you were to reach over her shoulder and peer, would be the quilled penning of you gallantly riding a horse. And you can see that glued to the front cover of this little book is a, now admittedly shaved down so as not to splinter anything, piece of your broken lance.
And indeed, you can see Tristan has a single little red flower matching her hair tucked into the hem of his cloak. A favor from the young lady.
Indeed. And as you're doing your work, she will smile and place down the book and give you a pat on the shoulder before slipping away and wandering deeper into the gathering. Faunra, who are you? What are you doing?
Faunra is. Who am I and what am I doing? Faunra at this point would be standing by a table with her sword, with her great sword, laying on it, and she is reading from a prayer book while holding a lit censer over her sword and consecrating it for the next battle to come. She is a tall, very strongly built woman with red hair tied up in a bun behind her head, with a tall pair of bunny ears coming out from the top, with very fair, pale skin. It doesn't look like it has seen much light, but her eyes are very bright and very, very green.
Excellent. And before we get to what you accomplished, I suppose the viewers will want to know what a bunny is doing here, although to some they are no strangers to bunny folk being in games amongst our group. These are people of a particular bent. These are members of the Order of the Hare, in particular Faunra here, and like all members of her order who reach the stage of knighthood, is a Werehare. Indeed, every order has its own oath, and that oath does impact them in certain ways that we will cover in but a moment, but bears in mind. So what did you do that made you stand out amongst your peers?
amongst my peers like this group here, or in the past?
Amongst all of the young knights here at this gathering, Tristan, for instance, succeeded in dehorsing quite a renowned jouster. What did you accomplish that was so great and has made you stand out?
She, while in preparation, while doing some meditation for one of these games, uncovered someone who was someone of less repute, who was skulking around and seemingly was going to disrupt the festivities. But upon discovering this individual, she swiftly brought them to justice.
Excellent. Indeed, there have been more such of these people recently. Foul critters prowl the roads more often than they used to, and thugs and bandits and those who would be deemed agents of the darkness never seem to be particularly far from the light these days. And you say putting you on the spot like that, but I have already asked people all these questions before ad nauseum. You just must have forgot your answer. But Faunra, you are not the only bunny here. Ariel, who are you? What are you doing?
Yes. As the camera comes towards me, you can see a slightly shorter woman with very, very pale skin, and something definitely sort of not quite human about her, other than the tall bunny ears. She seems to have sort of a elven, maybe drow influence heritage in her. She's got on a bunch of armor befitting her order color scheme, that purple and orange type thing. Wears her very pitch black hair in a high ponytail. Has her fluffy cloak alongside her. And probably the most interesting thing to see with her is a sword at her side that very much draws the eye for some reason. As for what she's doing, she's probably winding down from the tournament right now with a nice old game of dragon chess.
Indeed, for your performance here has drawn quite the few eyes, and placed down but a moment later would appear to be a small wooden box. It's got a decent amount of heft to it, and you realize that the box opens up into a chessboard, and within are some beautiful figurines of ivory and silver.
Very nice.
Your winnings. There are no small number of people watching you. Indeed, expectations were quite high on you this tournament. That would be because you are the daughter of one Lady Anessa of the Order of the Hare, their Grandmaster, so to speak. It's only recently that the two of you have been pretty much on speaking terms after some brief fallings out here and there, but regardless, it's quite an expectation to live up to. You've done a good job in managing so.
Indeed. And I shall ever try to do so in the future.
Yeah. And we sweep across from the tournament games to a rather more bright and cheerful individual, surrounded by similarly bright and cheerful individuals. Halua, who are you? What are you doing?
All right. So, my character is Hallie, the Minotaur Cleric. She, as you weirdly read my mind on, is currently at if not the heart, near the heart of the festivities, very clearly enjoying herself and singing along to whatever song comes up. She is a Minotaur from the Great Minotaur, well, I'd say village, but it's more like a town of Hoof's Reach, to the north. Her, she's is decked out in chainmail and has the same uh, Order of the Dragon pendant that uh, as Tristan, and in her placed carefully next to her is an aged but still sturdy mace, and obviously very well loved, if odd looking shield, apparently made of off red wood and bolted together with the kind of metal you'd find, metal rivets you'd find on a farm.
Excellent. And what did you do that, helped you stand out so much amongst your peers?
Well, Hallie hasn't particularly done much in the tourney herself. Instead, she's been on the healing staff, mending wounds and such. It was more her deeds on the way to the tourney that had people talking, as they were attacked by beasts from the woods, and she managed to valiantly deny the Reaper on multiple times, saving several knights' lives.
Excellent. And you're certainly not alone. As I said, you are surrounded by rather cheerful individuals now after a long shift has wrapped itself up. The games have come to their conclusion, and so those who were suffering from a great deal of injuries have all been seen to and tended to. And in fact, there is a rather tall-looking human man who is approaching you, and he is carrying a small crate. Sir Halua, I believe this arrived for you.
Oh, let me see.
And they place the crate down and crack it open, and you can see that inside are a number of ceramic jars of what smells like cream, like sweet cream. And you can see the stamp of Hoof's Reach on the inside of the crate.
Yes. This day has already gotten better. And it was pretty good to begin with.
Yeah, I thought as much. Yeah, it arrived a little ago, but you were still on shift, so we left it in a cool place in the shade for you. Looks like it arrived maybe like 2 or so hours ago with a delivery caravan. And he'll gesture at what would appear to be now an empty caravan place with wheels. It's unlikely any of your folks from Hoof Reach actually came down, but they actually have work, and Hoof Reach is reasonably far away. They probably put this on a caravan that was moving in the area, passing through. As we look away from you, peering through bottles of cream, where is cream but cat? Tayana, who are you? What are you doing?
Well, she's all of a sudden you come to me and my mind goes blank.
I know, it happens every time. I was expecting it, and so I'm patient and waiting.
Yep. She's a short, feline-looking girl. She's blonde right now, but you've seen her with other colors. Black stripes are always there, though. It's weird. She's thick, very busty. And is currently sitting playing a lute. And I just want to give the performance check right now, just show this off.
Of course, that is a very good idea to introduce Tajana's mechanic.
Oh no.
Unfortunately,
It's
it is
very
a
out of
5.
tune.
Yeah, it was going beautifully for a moment, but your claw must have caught one of the strings of this lute and it snapped, unfortunately.
Oh.
So what is this
Yeah.
mechanic we're talking about?
So she is a Rakshasa Tiefling from the central jungles. So she is
Indeed.
truly cursed. Every non-combat roll she makes is at disadvantage.
That's horrible.
However,
It's-
the results of any time that Tayana succeeds on a test is considered to be a stage higher, such as, if you were rolling a history check and you succeeded, you'd gain a +5 if you succeed. Essentially, this could mean as well for counting against people trying to defeat you in skill tests. Challenge ratings go up or down based on this curse. So technically, she is incredible at just about everything, but she is cursed with terrible, terrible luck.
Yes.
The odds are not ever in your favor.
They are
No.
never in your favor, but you are otherwise the makings of a superior knight. Or superior, sorry.
Nice.
And what is your feat of strength that you've shown off in this tournament?
It's not so much a feat. It's not so much of strength. Definitely not strength. She just always seems to have a story to tell, and that's all of them seem to be tales of caution about mitigating bad luck, but there's a lot of tales.
I see. What knighthood would you belong to?
Well, the one that would tell stories like that, the Fairy Queen order.
Indeed. And, it's not often that someone happens to attract the attention of everyone with all of their stories. But Tayana is blessed in bounty. And also by delicious smells, as you're probably not too far from a campfire at which sits Bob. Who are you? What are you doing?
Well,
Don't get this every time.
I
The
shall
show
add this
tonight.
I shall add that this is a placeholder token because the artist was unable to get theirs done in time. So it's so fucking it's majestic. Okay.
God.
this took me literally fucking 10 minutes to find and edit, put together. Like it's piece of crap. It's meant to be,
Yeah.
but it's the closest I could get.
Yeah, this is the guy who never gets let into any movie theaters or gets kicked out of all the bars.
Oh, wait, gets carded and then like get denied because this is a fake card. You can't be like 32. You look like you're 12.
Yeah.
Shit like
13 or
that, but
30.
yeah. No, but Bob's actual pretty fucking tiny. And it's standing at a mighty 5'4" and wearing just simple brown baggy clothes, like some almost robe. Fairly young, fair skinned, like slightly unkempt, half long brown hair, a messy, like a short, shaggy beard, mustache there go around. Just simple blue green eyes there. And just it's a fair bit from the majority of like the central part of like tournaments. So, but still, it's still close enough to everyone else to just busy, cooking up a storm because that cauldron right there, that's delicious, succulent, small bits of game in there, some vegetables, some nice freshly picked herbs, and everything is just wafting up this nice, rich, wild gumbo style smell to it. Just wafting in.
All right then, Bob. And what would you say your specialty is? What drew the attention of your peers and made you stand out from others here?
Well, the fact that I have absolute shit at fighting. Like, I entered a tournament, but literally got ruffled, stomped by everything. Like, mostly because he wasn't really good at, wearing metal. It felt wrong. So just run around with a simple wooden shield, some basic leather armor, and a stick. And this was during his ass beating, for sure, that his nickname, the Eye, kicked in. He's known as Bob the Eye. He spotted a rather surprisingly sneaky, well, unsavory individual with a rather sharp blade against a minor lord, but he's still a lord. And thanks to his little druidic nature, he alerted them by setting the guy on fire.
That
Not
is
the
true.
lord, the bandits. So,
Yes.
and sadly, the lord got a rather nasty cut, but that was also negated by Bob's rather weird druidic nature. And after that was done, at least he turned back to his opponent, and then was promptly, knocked the fuck out.
Indeed. But they will forever say that Bob was a fair man who did not light the knight's pants on fire. And so let's see here. There is a point raised that trinkets have not yet been rolled. I need to find a nice big set of fun trinkets.
Yay! Random bullshit.
All right.
Ravenlaw.
And that Savin gets a fucking deck of many things just for fucking hilarity.
Yes,
All
good.
right.
Give me the deck.
Oh, God, no.
Okay, Savin, can you please roll for me a 1d3?
Oh boy.
Choose this table. Please give me a 1d100.
So close.
So close yet so far away. Okay, I can't use this set of tables. Okay, luckily there are other ones. You can't have a pickled illithid tentacle. No. Oh, adorable. You have a miniature teapot and teacup.
I know who gave me that.
Adorable. All right, Fauna.
Is the teacup and is the tea set like fairy size?
Yep.
No, it's totally like child
That's
size.
something.
It's infant sized.
Okay.
You make it sound like there's a fucking difference.
Fair.
There is between fairies and small children.
No, they're all tiny to me. Oh, oh, oh.
Not to Bob, they aren't.
And it's true. To
not
Bob, they're all
Bob.
giants.
They're huge.
Well, yeah, that is true. My character is now small.
By the way, how tall is Faunra and Halua again?
Halua is 6 foot even, so she's a short stack.
By
far as
Minotaur
Minotaur
standards.
Yes, by
Yeah,
minor
Minotaur
standards.
Yeah.
By Minotaur standard, she is a full foot shorter than even the shortest Minotaur.
Fauna is 6'3".
Oh, damn it! I'm not the tallest person here.
She is a
She's a
large
lord.
lady.
She's a big
You are like
lady.
the second tallest person here, Savin.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Damn it, now
it's
I'm a
third
manlet.
if you count. It's third if you count in the ears.
Oh, it's even higher with the ears.
Yeah, I think
yeah,
me and
okay.
Bob are tied for shortest person in the party.
I think
Really?
I might be 5'4" Hang on, let me check.
Yeah. Faunra, 1d3.
1d3.
1d100.
Wow.
Nice.
Okay.
Yep, I'm 5'4".
You have a music box that can only be heard by someone who has wound it at least once.
You just see Faunra happily bobbing her head along to music.
Yeah,
There's
very
just a
few people can hear.
silent music box.
That's very curious.
That has some uses as well as like a signal for your party and things like that, actually.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
All right, Ariel.
Yep. 1d3
Okay.
and
Hunty.
1d100.
Doodle-doodle-doodle-doodle-doodle-doodle-doodle. Interesting. You have a squat metal tin full of brown powder that always feels cold to the touch, regardless of the temperature.
Huh.
All right, hello. D3 and a D handy. All right, we have a 3 and a 56. You have a silver ring that feels very slippery. And for shits and giggles, I'm going to say this is a ring of attunement.
I love it.
Worst magic item ever.
Mm-hmm.
The silver ring that feels very slippery is actually a ring of attunement. But it just
Yeah.
keeps falling off.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
All right, Tayana. Two. 8. Wow, another one. Scroll. Okay. Huh. You have the preserved skull of a corvid.
You have a preserved
skull.
raven skull?
I
Or a
brought it home as a
crow?
present once.
Oh god.
Yep, 100%.
I'm just gonna write that down as Burb Skull.
Sure. And Bob. Right, 216. Wow, that's actually wild. An ivory comb that, when used, changes a person's hair color.
I'll trade you.
That is rad, actually.
Is the
It's
change
actually
random, I guess?
Yes, it is random.
that's pretty much entirely within Tayana's character.
I'm sure Bob has combed your hair for you many a time.
That's
'Cause Bob's
probably
a good-
why it's
Bob's a good boy.
her hair changes
the-
like every week.
Is the hair color change? Does it like is it gonna like does it last a certain amount of time, or does it last until it's combed again?
It just
Or does
changed
it-
your hair color.
Roll me a
Yes.
D2. We'll either say it's a week on a 1 or it's permanent on a 2.
And is it like all of your hair, or is it just the hair on your head?
Oh, within character, the way I wrote the character, the black stripes always stay. but
Yeah, Kina's asking if it makes the curtains match the drapes, but no, you don't comb the curtains. Sorry, you don't comb the drapes, so it's okay.
And it's permanent.
Yeah,
1d2
and
was
it's
over,
permanent.
1
So yeah, your hair probably does change as regularly as you ask Bob for a hairbrushie.
yeah, okay. Nice. Good. I have an in reason. I don't have to buy dyes constantly.
Yep. And indeed, it gets to be random, so that means I should probably just make a tiny color chart that pumps that out, but I'll get around to it later.
We just keep changing the tint of Tajana's token.
Oh, you know what? I bet there's probably just like a random color picker of like hex colors. You can just find online somewhere. Just grab that every now and again for that.
Yeah, there is. If I make a rollable table, it'll be just as easy.
True.
If you
Cutie
get,
Chen art is gonna have purple hair.
if you
Nice.
roll like 100, you get Vanta black for your hair, and it's all weird.
Oh, that'd be really weird.
Except for these streaks of just a lighter black.
Of a lighter
not as
black, yeah.
Not as black
Yeah.
black.
Yeah, not as
Spirit
black.
to the void.
Okay, excellent. But now we have you all established. I believe I should do us all a favor and establish the knightly orders and the Eternal King and what the darkness really is. So, first amongst these orders, and indeed I have a neat little handout that's got their names. Let's just boop this out for you. The Order of the Dragon, with the Grand Master as such, Sir Andrew von Helmgut, and indeed Lady Isabel there is an adopted daughter, so she is technically Isabel von Helmgut, but does not go by that title as an adopted daughter. And the Order of the Dragon has a little bit of infamy about them, because the very first bad guy came from the Order of the Dragon. They traced their lineage back with pride and pain. Their Grandmaster walked side by side with the Eternal King and slew a dragon to save his life. This individual was Velthramar Drakul, and he was a righteous and chivalrous man until he fell into the darkness. He drank the dragon's blood for power and was tainted by its touch. And now no liquid but mortal life can slake his thirst, and forevermore he acts out his jealousy and hatred. The oath of the dragon, as such, is one to protect people, and that is so. Bring no death to innocent lives, and bring no harm to unwed wives. Your honor is bound by these rules. Your soul is bound by your ultimate duty. Fight the darkness, bend not your ear to wicked ways. Now, every oath comes with a downside. The oath is a great source for experience. People will be able to have their oath challenged and struggle to uphold it, but doing so awards them more experience. Characters with the Oath of the Dragon struggle to resist corruption. All of their tests have their DC increased by 1. We'll get into that in a moment. Next is the Order of the Hare, led by Lady Anessa Astriel. The Order of the Hare are named that because they're werehares, capable of transforming from humans to hybrids, or from hybrids to monstrous wolf-sized hares. It's thought of generally as dishonorable for a fully bestial form to be taken, but no weapon is entirely discarded out of hand when it comes to fighting the forces of darkness, or protecting those that matter to you. Now, it took a very long time for the Order of the Hare to be recognized as a knightly order, despite following all the traditions and training long since before being established as such. The first Werehare was Lady Agriala, a now long deceased Agriala, who was renowned for her beauty. It's said that the Eternal King coveted her attention, but long harbored the wish that she had not taken up the sword. Lady Agriala unfortunately fell in combat to a titanic, monstrous hare, and in a fit of grief, the Eternal King rent apart the magic of life itself. The result of this magical transgression is seen in the adorably bunny-eared race of knights that walk the land. Well, this wasn't exactly an easy transition. The current leader, Lady Anessa, is supposedly thought of as the spitting image of Lady Agriala the Beautiful. They're the youngest order of all of them currently, and in the eyes of all the others, they're considered the least tempered. The oath of the hare is such: find a beauty in the world, protect all that stand at your side. Your honor is bound in fairness, your soul is bound in hope and trust. May your flame burn out, giving warmth and brightness to others. Now, characters with the Oath of the Hare, they obviously have the benefit of being werehares. But they are cursed with self-sacrifice and martyrdom. Much like the Lady Agriala who started them, they are destined to take the fall, to fall, taking the blow for their companions. Mechanically, this means in situations where a beast or man may choose between striking the hare knight or striking someone else, it's much more likely they're going to try and strike the hare. Next up, the Order of the Forest. Now, the Order of the Forest is a little bit of an awkward one because the Great Woods, the canopies themselves, are considered terrifying. Their canopies block out the day, they block out the stars of night. Monsters roam in multiple canopy levels and across the floor, and, well, everything there is nasty and cruel and awful. But Order of the Forest Knights find regular success in this darkness. They attend to the codes of chivalry, and they keep some of the nastier beasts from ever reaching civilization. And their first Grandmaster was a Druid known as Berengia the Woodsman. In the early days of the Eternal King's adventures, Berengia was, fast friends with this man, known for his druidic abilities and singing to trees and sensing threats. It took a long time for Berengia's flame to die out, but for some reason there are very, very few stories going on at the moment. It's believed, however, that Berengia had a rather illicit nature, an illicit relationship, with a member of the Darkness, a drow named Adam Elith Anor, a member of the Deep Canopies, and coincidentally the co-founder of this order. They should have been enemies, but they were not. Today, the Grandmaster goes simply by Sir Gale, a half-drow of indeterminate gender whose company is kept by a beast that attracts a lot of attention here at this gathering because it looks like a scaled dragon and a winged goat, all at the same time. But Gale insists that their beast is a lovely sweetheart and a trustworthy companion. Likes apples and steak.
Does it have only one head or two heads?
Just the one. It appears to be a goat head, but covered in scales.
Fascinating.
Yeah. He is a wild thing and should have generally, again, been considered a beast of the darkness, but no, he's a good boy, according to Sir Gale. Now, the Oath of the Forest is to be wary. Keep your eyes on the shadow, but be not blinded by the light. Judge not your fellow man, no matter their creed. Now, members of the Oath of the Forest are considered open-minded people. Unfortunately, this makes them unpopular in civilized portions of the Western Chivalrics. They are uncomfortable around lots of carved stone and different faces. They struggle to recover from long-term harm and exhaustion in overpopulated cities, much preferring open plains, small huts, or deeply wooded areas. Their little downside. And next is the Order of the Black Knight, of which none of you are members, yes, but they are important nonetheless because they are the mercenaries. They don't have a Grandmaster. There's no one in charge of them directly. They have a representative here, however. That would be a Sir Hannah of the North. a kitsune who joined their ranks, must have been a couple decades ago, and quickly rose up them, proved to be exceptionally skilled in training other people in matters of arms. She has a expressive stature, it could be said. She is like 7 foot tall and bustier by half than Tayana. And by all accounts, relatively jacked. She insists it runs in the family. Now, the oath of the Black Knight is to coin gold, jewels, and promise. Your life is bought and your honor is paid for. Break not a contract or surrender your tongue, so no further lies can pass your lips. Characters of the Oath of the Black Knight are often wealthy or poor, all the money made from their contracts saved for a personal quest or spent to feed a life of ongoing luxury. They are an honest folk despite their muddy and mercenary reputation, at least. Black Knights struggle to lie to others and often suffer physical harm when they break a promise or fail in a contract. Next up, the Order of the Fairy Queen. Now, the Fairy Queen is the order to which Tayana and Bob belong, and they would have met their great and glorious leader many times, but it's rare for her to leave her castle, except for this yearly gathering. The Fairy Queen being this very attractive individual here. A haunting and huge figure.
Yeah, she's even got a large-ish token.
Yep, she is largish. Now, the Fairy Queen has a lot to say about itself. It's the order of storytellers, and their members all tend to be beautiful men and women and mixed up genders. Although this tends to mean that a number of other orders don't take them especially seriously.
Yeah.
However, their oath is a sweet one. Bring warmth and tale to those who walk alone and cold in the rain, and be the stars in the night and the sun in the morn. Characters who take on the Oath of the Fairy Queen have a most peculiar curse. If you have heard the phrase, "May you live in interesting times," you probably understand this fact. Interesting things happen to members of the Oath of the Fairy Queen. Be they small or grandiose, bane or boon, alone or together, when it comes to matters of random chance, it's often the person who is oathed to the Fairy Queen who has to bite the bolt.
Yeah. I do that anyway.
Yep. And last up is the closest thing to, I suppose, like an army or soldiers could be considered. And this would be the Order of the Ivory Home. These are the knights responsible for guarding the Eternal King's lands. They're the closest thing to law enforcement that you ever actually see around here. They have an oath very specifically placed towards the Eternal King themselves. These days, the Grand Master for the Ivory Home is a approaching elderly gentleman known as Eric the Cleaver, yet he still stands strong enough to cleave lesser men in twain with his great axe. In fact, the Ivory Home is probably the only one whose Grand Master regularly wields an arm of darkness. And the next man or woman who have to take their place have to be strong enough of both mind and muscle to lift it as well. It's not uncommon for those of barbaric bearings to sort of find solace in this big environment where they are taught to control their rage and use it for good. Their oath is as such. To our liege, the Eternal King, we pledge our names. We need never know a man's name, for his blood speaks not his station. Slay evil, protect good, maintain order. Now, characters of the Ivory Home have a peculiar quirk, and that would be heavy weaponry. From the day they first take up the blade or axe, they are taught to hold it in two hands, so they might one day be strong enough to grow and lead others. It's considered unbecoming and embarrassing for members of the Ivory Home to wield a one-handed weapon, except for those who have lost a limb in the line of duty. Fate is unkind to members of the Ivory who forsake weighty weapons. Literally, you gotta be jacked. If you gotta be dumb, you gotta be tough. And those are the orders. Now, I mentioned Arms of Darkness and the Eternal King and the Darkness itself a number of times, and the Forces of Darkness are led by one Velthramadrakul, previous Grandmaster of the Order of Dragons. What is an Arm of Darkness? You may recognize it from books as weapons made from great beast parts that made everyone supremely fucking strong as shit. Things are different these days, because if you equip armor or weapons or jewelry and miscellanea made from the parts of great beasts, you risk corruptions. You have to roll against them, and they're very unpleasant. They can do things like make you a little bit worse at stuff, and they have a steadily increasing range, where at first you have small nightmares, or you develop minor manias, or all the way up to quite major ones, until you become so corrupt that I must take away your character sheet. Now, those members of the Order of the Dragon have to be especially careful of this. Their lives are forfeit in exchange for power. Magical gear, very, very, very rare. There are some mundane minor magics out there, often like illusory or I guess feats of very minor conjuration, but for the most part, magic weaponry and armor and all of that, supremely rare. Which only stands out the more for the fact that Sir Ariel walks with a magic blade, although it appears to exhibit no special effects.
At least not yet, it doesn't.
Indeed. Now, before we get to the gathering, do any of you have questions? Because I'm sure there are going to be a handful, and there's going to be a lot of cases that come up as and when, but there's possibly something that I've forgotten to say.
I just want to say Beowulf.
Yes, Sir Erica's big Beowulf. And yet,
What's the law on narcotics?
The most Hedrah
would-
of questions.
yeah, it's a fair question. It would be considered very, very far from chivalrous to do more than like smoke ye olde like hobbit leaf. Like no hard drugs or stuff. You kind of have a world to protect. You can't afford to get completely blazed to the gills.
Don't
Although
make
many,
cocaine.
yeah, many Black Knights don't mind.
What about getting strung out on ketamine before charging your enemy?
That would be a thing that you could see Black Knights doing for sure. And maybe the occasional Ivory, but they'd then be reprimanded for it later.
Most dishonorably type of fashion for most knights.
Yep.
Okay, so I'll just scribble away this.
Yeah.
So
You
you're,
can't have.
2002.
Yeah, you can't have horse fiend. It's just you look over at Bob and hear syringe hits the ground. Bob's ready to roll. Just out there doing all the drugs.
No,
Okay,
no.
just yeah. I have
Yeah,
to make
taking the
sure,
cross
so
is very
just-
bad for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's worth asking. Any other questions?
Not at the moment.
All right then.
What's the taxation laws?
None of your business. None of you would know what tax is. You're all fucking knights.
What is the flight speed of an unladen
Well,
swallow?
Actually, no. Bob
Taxes.
Bob would
that-
know.
Yeah.
Is that some sort of peasant joke I'm too noble to understand?
Exactly right. Bob would know, but it's also not important.
Okay.
There are tax collectors. They are just like normal fucking dudes. They tend to have a contingency of like Ivory Home knights, like protecting the larger portions. But it's hard to tax as well in a land that's just constantly under attack. But yeah, let's move you over to the gathering. Lots of tokens. There are cook fires and fae and human and drow and bunnies and all sorts around here.
Wait,
And it's
where the fuck am I?
I hadn't had your token in when I set literally everything up, so that's probably going to happen a lot for like everything I set up. Let's just grab you and throw you in the pile here. Boop.
Mind if I just move myself to the center of the festivities?
No. Leave your dudes there for but a moment, because currently these festivities are they are in full swing, but a lot of you have been called into this large, grandiose tent. I didn't have a particularly grandiose tent tile when I set this up, so whatever. It's that big burlap-looking motherfucker.
We can tell it's grandiose because of the table.
Yeah, there is a full ornate table that has been put in place, and as you're all brought forward, you can see that sat at this table with like steins and these what would appear to be like the smell of sweet baked goods are all of the members of the knightly orders, the Grandmasters, or in the case of the Black Knights, their representative lieutenant. Now, you'd been called here without explanation some 5 minutes ago by a squire. What are your first instincts on walking into such a place?
Lord Andrew bishy as hell.
Oh yeah. No, Lord Andrew definitely has a surname that suits having a Von in front of it.
To do the proper knightly things when confronted with those of above our stature, give greetings and kneel and all that.
Sure thing.
It's only proper. I mean, that's how I was raised.
Exactly. What about the rest of you? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll show deference.
No, I'll bow.
Excellent.
Don't goddamn kneel, but I'll bow, respectfully.
Yep. And Hallie, do you risk bowing and potentially spilling out of your armor?
Well, I've done that before, so what I'm going to do is do what started with the Knight Orders and salute, even though I'm not wearing a helmet that has a helm, that has a visor.
Yep, that is perfectly fine. There are people of very different statures around here. You swear you see like a sagely nod from Sir Hannah here, who
I was about to
similarly is put in danger whenever she tries to bow.
I was about to say, surely, I was actually typing, surely Sir Hannah knows why I'm doing this.
Yeah, in her case, if she wants to bow, she does the arm across top of the chest bow. So essentially just so that she's got something pushing them down.
That's exactly why I kneeled.
Yeah. And it happens. I'm like, please, stand at ease. It is the Fairy Queen who addresses you all. And for those who are unused to seeing her, she is an unearthly beauty. Like light captures itself very naturally in her hair, and she is bedecked in fine, like very slender, almost spiderweb thin jewelry. A great big flowing dress made of leaves and maybe some shimmering metals and silks. I'm sure you're all eager to get to the festivities, but there is something most important that we would like to bring to your attention. She will pause and look to the rest of the table, and they'll give similar nods of assent and gestures to go on. She'll give them all a petite smile and face you all once more. We are aware of your names and your deeds, the things you are capable of, and the potential that you hold in your hands. Now tell me, what do you know of the Eternal King's first party of adventurers?
I don't know. What do I know? The
This is an
history roll?
investigation to, it will make history rolls.
Investigation and history. Congratulations, they're
History.
both -1.
Okay. Oop, that's insight.
That's a
Then
one.
I use
Glad
the
we
crit
have
one,
one
I got-
smart.
The only thing I know, I mean, I'm not gonna say anything. Like, the only thing I remember is like maybe my Grandmaster or my original first Grandmaster of Order, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing you would know, indeed, Ariel, is that like your great grandma, potentially even there are rumors that Anessa is of her bloodline because they look so startlingly similar, but it wasn't thought that she had any direct kids.
History or what?
They were just history.
Oh, just history. Okay, I thought that was something else.
Yep.
4.
Unfortunate. Yep. You'd know about the fate of the Grandmasters of your various orders. Thankfully, Tristan, do you speak up to save your entirely floundering new companions?
Based Tristan.
I mean, I'm
Like-
really tempted to
when
troll and
she
say
asks,
no.
she looks over you. It does not take a deep insight to look around and see that every single character here besides you is going,
Yeah, so
"Yeah."
Tristan is not normally like a very talkative person, but he looks around at the drooling mongoloids around him and then clears his throat and then regurgitates forth the story in depth, I guess.
Yeah, she corrects you at certain points, but also you notice as you begin explaining it, it takes on a naturally more storyistic timbre. Like, you're not used to speaking, you're certainly not used to being so verbose when you do so, but apparently being around the Fairy Queen makes storytellers of you all. You are aware and explain clearly that the Eternal King was once a lonely farm boy, essentially. They were brought into the fold of a very powerful individual when great beasts slaughtered their family so long and long ago. And from there came a spiraling into being effectively level 1 adventurers who made their way up to positions of great power. Friends and family fell along the way, but at the end of their adventures, where Dracul left them alone and became one with the darkness itself, the knightly orders took their place. And she'll wait until you get to the point of knightly orders before smiling. Yes, exactly that. You see, the group of that year, of that faraway time, were just as full of potential as all of you. Now, the darkness, it grows ever deeper. You're all aware of this much, yes?
Everything
Yeah.
seems to
Yeah,
get
of
worse
course.
every day.
Indeed. Well, in such a position, the Eternal King made his allies and took his stand against the monsters of the dark. And we would have you all do the same. You see, there is a great many things that our orders are no longer capable of doing, and that is adventuring. We are far too busy keeping the world safe, and those who live within it. There are fewer knights at this gathering than there were 2 decades before. Although only a few here would remember such a thing. She'll glance over at, like, Sir Eric and Lord Andrew and Salira. Yeah. Like she's literally saying there aren't enough knights. Like, it has become very clear that we are in the midst of fighting a losing battle. And so, we would take that great risk and replicate the story of the Eternal King. And send forth those with potential and pray for their success. Now, you wouldn't dream of sending you out there, blind, weak, and alone in the face of such incredible danger, but it Just been agreed that there is very little that we will do to assist you that has not been earned like an adventurer would do so. I would ask you speak now if you have any issues with this quest we are about to impart upon you, for it is a heavy one, and we would not begrudge this decision.
If it's a chance to fight the darkness, then I'm in. No questions.
She'll smile and nod.
It'd be unbefitting of a knight of my standing to not partake of this.
Oh, heck yeah.
Well, as long as it keeps her out of the city, so sounds good.
She will smirk slightly. Ariel, when you agreed, there was a definite like drooping from Anessa's ears as you could basically say, "Sign me up for incredible danger."
Well, I mean, I can't say no to
No,
saying,
of course you can't. No, she's
like-
obviously proud too, but she's still like a worried parent.
I know.
Tayana, Faunra.
I will do everything in my power to protect the life of these lands.
This would be the strongest alpha play if Pet went just, and Tayana does not accept. She leaves. And then it just pieces out.
I keep saying I'm not backing down.
Okay. I couldn't hear you before. I think your mic did a funny, or it was overspoken, or I'm deaf. Or
Any of
all of
these
the
three.
above.
Any and all.
Yeah. Very well then. Sir Eric, if you please. She'll glance over at Eric himself, and he will nod. He grunts and stands, and you can hear like joints popping and clicking, but you can also see humongous muscles writhing beneath an incredibly towering masculine form. He reaches beneath the table as he stands and pulls out what appears to be a leather bag. And this towering giant of a man approaches you. There, this is for you. I wish you some small amount of luck. And Halua, you're closest in reach. He holds the bag out to you.
All right. I'll nod and take it.
Yeah. Within appear to be 6. Let's call them bracelets or bangles of some kind. They appear to be made of electrum, and you can see that there are tiny scribbles of writing written in it. And just looking at this bag, the contents feel ancient, just so old.
Oh my god. We're the Fellowship of the Bun now. Alright, I guess I'll take them out and start handing them to the other members of the group.
Now those right there are keys. We aren't going to send you out without any information, as our Lady Queen mentioned. You need to find a few items, armaments of the light, as opposed to the darkness. And again, there'll be an opportunity for a history check on this. But he will continue. You have to seek these items and then deliver them to the Eternal King's daughter.
Do we know anything about this daughter?
No, that's news to you.
I
Wasn't.
thought that
Go ahead.
I didn't know that the Eternal King had any progeny.
Yes, it's quite news indeed.
Indeed, it's a lot like hearing that there's a child of a god wandering around the lands, and might as well be the case in some senses, but as a young child, problem is, she's gone missing herself. Second problem is the arms of light that you're meant to bring to her are all similarly missing. Wouldn't be an adventure if it was easy, huh?
No, it would not.
Do we know why they're missing? Stolen?
That's another matter. Some were hidden or scattered by Dracul back so long ago. The rest we don't know. They would have been kept in places that were once safe, and the darkness rendered no more. Now the items you seek are the following. The Chalice of Companionship. He begins counting them off on their fingers as you all take your bangles. The Collar of Command. The Heart of Justice. The Bastard's Thorn. The Cloak of Warmth. The Quiver of Hope. And the Shield of Life.
Do you write those down for us?
Yep. Indeed. Doop.
Hey.
Indeed, Hope is quivering. You got the thing! I mean, two of those things is not like the other.
The bastard's thorn.
Yeah, it's totally different from the sting, and I'm annoyed that was the name of that weapon in Savin's game. Shut up.
Yeah, it's not like it's been that way for 6 years now.
It's true.
I'm just saying.
I'd forgotten about it when I put the thorn in, and I was like, keeping it.
I'm just
Yeah,
saying,
that's fine.
out of all those names, all of them are great things of light and hope, and then the bastard's thorn.
It's
the
Bob
Collar of
Bastard
Command is
Bastard
also.
Thorn.
God damn it. The Collar of Command is also somewhat questionable.
Well, that's just lewd.
mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just put that on.
Listen.
Yeah, we'll just put it on Savin.
Hey.
Listen, the ancients had libidos too.
Please don't talk about our descendants like that.
I didn't say that out loud.
Aw, I'm kind of sad you didn't.
And none of us are saying this out loud.
What do you mean descendants? His ancestors?
Well, some number of us happen to have descendants of that time, and at the very least, the Order is our family. We're the Grandmasters. That's how that's supposed to be. You're
I see.
all our children. You're knights.
So do you want me to call you daddy then?
God.
Oh god. Everyone
Bob,
is cheering
please.
for Bob.
You see a grin spread across Eric's face. Please, I've had like 3 wives. And like 1 boyfriend, but still.
Bob, I think you're a little young for that.
Well, that just means he's more experienced.
You see an old muscular man scratch the back of his head and blush. Yeah, thanks. Just gonna return to my drink over here now.
Congratulations, you flustered a Grandmaster.
Like, Tristan, Hallie, you're actually seeing, like, Lord Andrew has done the elbows on the table, like, finger steeple over his face, but his shoulders are doing, like, that shaking thing of someone trying really hard not to laugh.
Alright.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, Tristan just straight face after that and say, so we know where these items were last seen, or any leads
Well,
at all?
We've got one lead on one of the arms, the Chalice of Companionship. Coincidentally, it was found by one of Sir Hana's people. He will gesture at the lieutenant. She will turn around in her chair and does the Riker set.
Nice.
Which, of course, just, she is. Yeah, for the first time, like, now she is facing you full on. Like, her chest is resting up on the back of a chair as well, so it's very, very visible.
How enormous is her bulge?
It's being obscured by the back of the chair. It's probably fucking humongous, though. You know how it is. But still.
It will.
Well, yes. It was one of our own who has at least found leads for the Chalice of Companionship. She was supposed to make it here to the gathering. Last message we got was she was approaching from a few days, maybe a week or so to the north. She hasn't arrived yet, though. So I guess you've got your first destination. And she's a competent knight in her own right. Oh, well, okay, she wasn't a knight yet, but still, she's very competent in her own right.
Right. Well, I guess we'll go find her then.
Yeah. Here. I mean, it's probably not going to be necessary when a band of adventuring knights from different orders turn up to, find her, hopefully intact and okay, and just held up by monsters on the road or something. But here, she reaches into her bodice. There's
So
a moment's
deep reach.
rummaging. Yeah, she pauses and rummages. Damn it. She'll then withdraw her hand and then reaches underneath it instead and approaches it from beneath. And then pulls out for you a pouch of coin. Here, this is payment. She's a Black Knight. We get paid when we do things. She will toss the pouch to Tristan. Make sure she gets every penny.
Right. I'm sure she's just up a tree or something, hiding from a monster. We'll get her back safe and sound.
She snorts a tree. Yeah, of course. Well, I mean, feel free to enjoy the rest of the morning here. We will see you off in the afternoon. Is there anything else? And she'll turn around to the rest of the chair. Anessa puts up a hand. Yes, I have a gift. So that we can't let them leave empty-handed and unprepared. And she will lean over and whisper something to the drow who's been stood behind her. Ariel, you recognize this drow as your very regularly visiting other parent.
Of course.
The dashing Solera, who will head out the tent behind you, and about 5 minutes later returns with a crate. Looks like a crate on 2 wheels. So you can pull it like pushcart style. Here. For one, carrying around things can be a real pain in the ass. Unfortunately, none of the Eternal King's company started with a horse, so, you have to figure that one out yourself. But they did have a wagon. She will slap the wagon and place it down before you all. And inside are goodies. It's like
This bad boy can fit so many goodies.
Yeah, this thing holds so many goodies. Effectively, she has handed you your party loot chest. And it is on a pull wagon. So you aren't just carrying it around in a box that one of you is being forced to manhandle.
Yeah,
It's
now
a
we're
little-
just, one of us
it's
just
a-
pulling the
yeah.
wagon.
Now one of your strong people can pull it.
Tristan just instinctively glances at the big moo cow.
Wait, so what is it? I'm sorry.
It's a pull cart.
It's a pull cart, a hand pull cart that's got a locker chest built into it that is made to contain things. It is effectively a party loot chest on wheels.
Okay.
And let's show to everyone your party equipment and provisions and all the other little fun bits and bobs. Now you'll notice that
gifts.
Yeah. You have gifts from the Order of the Hare. Ariel, on hearing that you were potentially going to be involved in this, or indeed that if not you, then at least some member of the Order of the Hare would be involved, the bunnies got together and prepared lots of gifts. Now, there is enough for 6 days of cake and cookies.
Wow.
Or
6
one...
days.
Well, yeah, but that's per person. Sorry, 6 days for per person day. So for 6 of you, it's 1 day of cake and goodies. But
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Similarly, you have 24-person days worth of just like extra normal rations that you guys can have and you can top up on. But these are relatively good quality and they'll keep you kicking. They're worth a silver each themselves. Like these will get you 4 days, technically 5 days if you also have a cake day. And you won't have to spend a day of rations on the day that you leave because you'll be leaving on the afternoon from a gathering full of food and goodies. So it should be enough to get you basically a week.
Very, very, very useful.
Yep. And then Ariel will receive a head pat from Solera, who will then return to Anessa's side. Yeah, you can also see that, Electrum is a thing in this. Dun dun dun. The cursed currency. Electrum.
I'm going to get so confused converting Electrum because it's like 20 of that to silver or something.
Why would you do this to us?
What? No, it's 5.
Yeah, I have no problems with this.
Yeah, it's simple fucking math. It's 1.
Yeah, simple
Yeah,
to
but
you is
everything
not
else is
simple to
10.
me. I'm retarded.
Smooth.
Everything else is 10 though, Hedrah, and Electrum's just that odd one out that wants to be 5 and 20 or something.
Scow, make party loot
No,
off
it's
a roll
fine.
to be.
It's very simple. It's okay.
There you go.
It's not okay, Hedrah.
I know you have embraced the whole reject modernity, return to monkey, and the smoothness of it, but it's okay. We can help you.
It's not a 10 though.
It's 5 silver or
It's a
2 gold.
5.
Or 2 Electrum is 1 gold.
Yes.
Yeah.
I hate
Now,
it here.
Now, the reason Electrum is a thing is because it is very regularly used for spell component stuff. And also, it is a minted currency. Like, there's no way that Johnny Come Lately is going to have gold fucking hanging around to pay you for, like, scaring, like, wolves away from his sheep, etc. But it is expected to pay a knight, and that tends to be done in minted Electrum. And yeah, I definitely stole a leaf out of the COC2 book and it is used in magical goodies occasionally. Bum, bum, bum. There you have it. And now you guys have the full run of this gathering until noon. What do you guys want to do?
Well, I'd like to just find a spot and eventually wait for the Grandmasters to leave that and spend the day with my mothers, since it'll be like the last time I see them for a while.
Sure, that sounds fine. In fact, I believe it will be Solera who will challenge you to a game of Dragon Chess.
Of course.
Mom wants to see what you can do, and Anessa will watch, very amused. It
After
probably
all,
draws a bit of a crowd.
She is the one that
Same.
taught me.
Savin's making a beeline for the bee.
Yeah,
I wasn't,
There
but
we
I...
go.
Oh, it's you, man. Oh, no.
Yeah,
didn't notice?
exactly.
I
So
didn't.
as
I
you
did not
approach-
notice her. I noticed the B. I did not notice Hugh.
Yeah, as you approach, you can see it there is this incredibly muscular orc with whom they have a hornet in squire's attire. They appear to be a proud holder of the lance. They weren't, however, taking part in this tournament because they are still just a squire themselves, but they show definite interest in everything going on. So Hugh is trying to explain chess to them. And let's see here. Wow, that was a very good roll. All right, Solera, let's see what you got here. She is incredibly good, but you've already beaten tougher in this tournament. And you defeat her soundly. Much to Nessa's delight. Poor Tristan is got hardcore boob vision.
I mean, we all know who to blame for that.
Yeah, I know, right? And as you
yeah.
do, as Tristan starts to stare, Lady Isabel will approach and stand up at a shoulder.
It's not going to react. Just watching the chess playing.
Uh-huh. So, Tristan, what is it you were called for?
Huh? Oh, hey, Belle. Just got a quest from the Grandmasters.
Wait, from all of them?
Yeah, actually. And the Kitsune, too.
Oh, yeah, the northern girl. I always thought they were eastern.
Yeah, that's what I heard, but not by that accent.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, we're gonna go head out and find some Black Knight that's got herself lost or something.
Oh, it must be important, I guess, if all the Grandmasters asked you.
Yeah, something ancient artifact lead something.
Huh. Come on, what is it you're not telling me? You're literally the worst liar ever.
What, me lie? I'm deeply offended.
Of admission.
Tristan will finally turn around and put an arm on his shoulder. Let's go find somewhere private to talk, huh?
Oh, okay. She'll like blush and follow after you.
Yeah, so I guess over here behind the weapon stands.
Oh yeah, next to the archery targets. That seems like a great idea.
Yeah, no, this is fine. Okay, I'll just stand over here. If we get shot over here, then those people.
As you approach, it's like she probably takes an elbow and just gestures you towards not sit there.
Yeah, look, if we get shot all the way over here, those people don't deserve to be here.
Yeah, no.
They're fucking elves.
Right
They
now,
shouldn't
they're
miss.
actually, they're drow, very attractive, spooky, pale beings that they are, and a couple of them have been shading their eyes from the light for some time. You can see that they've got the emblem of the Order of the Forest on them.
Yeah, but
Okay.
they're more comfortable under the trees.
Yes, exactly. And since they're so blind,
Ow, my ass.
all right, Trist, what is it?
So apparently the Order's lost a bunch of their holy relics, and rather than get it themselves, the Grandmasters want to send us after them. Starting with that Black Knight, who might know where one is, or might not.
Doesn't sound like a lot to go on.
No, they have no idea where they are, or what happened to them, or when they lost them, or anything.
Oh,
I'm kind of thinking this is some sort of elaborate prank, personally.
What artifact is that you're after?
Tristan will recite the object names.
Oh my gosh. That's no small deal at all. And yeah, you previously made a history check, yes?
Yeah, and plus we were told all the names. I just can't be bothered to remember them all
Yeah,
myself.
as in she will, as in you know what the Chalice of Companionship is, the first of your leads.
Sure, yeah. Let's go with that. What is it actually?
It is the cup that essentially was used to feed the first Grandmaster of the Order of the Hare. It contained a great portion of the Eternal King's power and helped bring her back from the brink of death, although it, made her into a Werehare that day.
Ah, yes, the Holy Grail. Excellent, good.
Yeah, it was whatever, drinks container he had on hand, so no one knows what it actually looks like, because everyone else would have been dead by now. It could, for all anyone knows, be like literally a drinking adventuring flask. But
it's just a wood
was
tank.
all, yeah, it's literally all the Eternal King had on hand to essentially store his magic temporarily in and pour into her mouth.
So yeah, it might not even be a chalice. It could just be a flask or a mug or something.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think they're just pulling our leg and giving us an excuse to go find that knight.
I mean, it's a hell of a thing to lie about, but
Tristan shrugs. It's a hell of a thing to ask a bunch of newly minted knights to go after, too.
oh, come on, it's obviously because you're the best. Like, I saw Hallie go in there as well, and she's the coolest healer here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about any of that, but I suppose there aren't a lot of promising young squires this year, are there? I'll look around at the field and note that a lot of them are older, and there aren't really that many knights here.
Yeah. No, basically everyone who's got a token here is a oathed knight of some kind or the other.
Yeah, that's like 30 or 40 of them.
Yeah, it ain't a big gathering. You know that there are more knights out there, but they literally can't afford to turn up at this gathering because it put a lot of people in danger.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely pressed thin, and I guess most of the squires are out there right now, trial by
Squiring.
combat, I guess. Yeah, squiring for them.
Yeah, so this is real, and well, they're not scraping the bottom of the barrel yet, but getting close. Even the fairy queen in there, she is concerned there won't be many knights going forward, that we're a dying breed. It seems silly to me to look at all of us here, but wait, she tells it there were 3-4 times this many 20 years ago.
I wonder if it coincides with the Hagen sleep.
Just a scratch at his beard. Maybe. I don't know. Wasn't around.
Fair point. But yeah, I mean, it definitely seems important if you're literally looking for the Arms of Light. That's a huge deal. You should be so proud.
I'm just happy to get a chance to prove my mettle in combat. Real combat. And the Arms of Light, if they even exist still, well, that's a nice bonus, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, come on, look, one of them is a great and glorious lance.
Is that the bastard sword?
Yeah.
I'm sad it's not a bastard sword, but oh well. Huh.
It's that it was a thorn that belonged to a bastard.
Well, dibs.
Honestly, I would have had a much more. I had a head canon for what it was, but never. Hey.
She describes it as a great, black stone lance. It was definitely held by Dracul back in the day before he went, bad.
Oh, never mind. That is exactly what I was thinking, but I thought it was going to be a sword.
Nope, lance.
It's okay, it's a trick weapon, and Skow's just leading us on. It really is a passive sword.
That
you
would be
you pull the
fucking
sword out of
amazing.
the lance shaft.
It's just the lance is just the sheath for a rapier.
Yeah, exactly.
Either that or it's the sheath for a spear, which is the sheath for a rapier. Just a triple down. Real fuck you up.
Nah. See what happens is when you do the trick weapon, the lance collapses back in on itself, doubling down and becoming like a heavier thing as a great sword.
Anyway, yeah, if we can get any of those, well, my name will go down in the history books at least. More than a bastard like me can
Absolutely.
look forward to.
Please, you're always destined for greatness. Even if you're incredibly mopey.
I'm not mopey.
You are
I'm just
you're
deeply thoughtful.
Your resting mope face. I see how it is.
Tristan opens his mouth to snap back and just turns away.
No.
Grumble, grumble.
Soon.
You do a grumble.
Yeah. And she'll pause and pat herself down before pulling from her pocket what appears to be a little handkerchief. Hey, over here.
Just turn back.
She will reach for your clasp where the flower rests and ties a cute little handkerchief in around it as well. There. Flowers fade, but should always have some kind of favor with you. She'll give you a very shy smile.
Tristan will blush a little bit and adjust it in his cloak clasp. Yeah. Wouldn't do for a night to go without.
Exactly. And then, yeah. While that is ongoing, Ariel is deep in both conversation and game and generally completely smoking her mum. Not the same way as Nessa smokes her, though. Hey,
Kicking the shit out of her mom at chess.
yeah, fucking wrecking her ass with chess. Is there anything that you bring up?
I don't think there's anything really to bring up. Just have a nice actual day with them and make sure to make good memories with them so that I can assure them that I'll be back.
Of course. We're still gonna worry frightfully. If it ever gets too bad, just let us know.
Of course.
Lyra will give Nessa a pat on the shoulder. It'll be fine.
Don't worry. The first thing I'll do when I'm back near the headquarters is visit you.
I should hope so. Let's see here. Faunra, you are penning a letter.
Yes. I'm writing back to my convent about getting a great quest. Hopefully one that will prove my worthiness to be able to take a trial that will let me become more than just an initiate of my order.
Yeah, there's probably a knight amongst all of the ones gathered here who'd be willing to take that message on your behalf. Take a token, I suppose. You can wave them over.
How about this? How about this nice gentleman just right here?
The sleepy lad.
The sleepy lad with a big sword and a very nice hat.
It is a fantastic hat. And yeah, he lifts the hat and you can see beneath there are a great number of these sickle and flower tattoos that seem to adorn their neck like a collar.
Nice.
Yeah, he is certainly a member of the faith in that sense. His eyes don't burn with quite the same fervor as yours, but that might just be because he has woken up from his fireside nap. Yes, so Fauna, I'm happy to pass that along to you. What stage are you at in the trials anyway?
It's only the second.
Lucky you. You get to go in there and collect some life experience before following up with the difficult ones.
Yes.
Probably a benefit.
I hope so. I do not wish to disappoint.
Hey, it's fine. I failed on. Oh, gosh, what was it? I don't remember which one too well because of the concussions. I think 4. The 4th trial. A couple of times before succeeding.
Oh dear.
So, you know, you'll be fine, I'm sure. Give you
I'm glad for your faith in
grin.
me.
I have faith in all of Embler's followers. Be they like us, or he'll glance like essentially just down the line, sees that there's, the very squishy Hallie right there. The softer variety of Emblight. And he'll grin. Now, Bob, you're cooking. Bob, you're cooking. Hey, Bob, you appear to be cooking food.
Bob is indeed cooking food. And
Many people begin to slowly turn up.
oh yeah, it's like there's the bowls being put out. It's like because the fucking nice applewood smoke pork starts wafting out to the air around,
Yeah.
and now the nice simmer up while the king gumbo here is ready.
Yeah, you can see that the
rich
druidic-looking individual appears to be a member of the Oath of the Forest, but of your reputable talent set, will accept a bowl, reaches into their cloak pocket, which is similarly a messy, baggy robe, and pulls out... Roll me a d6. It would appear to be a paper parcel of smoked duck bacon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, a
Like,
treat for
oh,
you,
yeah.
like for like.
Well, if you come back and just looks over the smoker, come back in about 30 minutes. I can give you a fresh slice there. I have it wrapped up for you.
That'd be just perfect, thank you. She'll give you a grin and gulp from her bowl, and you realize that that's not makeup on her lips. That's similarly tattooed. There's no smearing or running.
Oh, right. Sorry. It just gets nice, actual, like, it's dark red, but it's actually very soft. Sorry, it just cuts off in a couple of slices here. Some trencher bread for you.
Oh, excellent, yeah. She'll just like hold the bowl out towards you as she's made some space for the bread to be placed.
Yeah, it's just nice. Put it there to the side there so that it just to soak up there, and it's a dark, so barley, rye, wheat, nice mixed in. They're not purified there, so it has a much richer, but also soft. It's softer. It's not that hard to
Ah.
bread.
Oh, you're an absolute treasure. And then she will, as a member of the forest, will probably move to like just a quiet corner, and she'll be back in a half hour for bacon.
Yeah.
Not really a large
Yeah,
gatherings type person, but ruled very much by the tummy.
Yeah. So next person just gets the same treatment. Gets some of this delicious wild game gumbo and nice, soft, rich bread. Come, eat. Eat and be happy. Eat and fill yourself. Can't be running around night and on an empty stomach.
Exactly. And a couple of Black Knights will similarly gift you fine smoke leaf in exchange for meals.
Oh, there's no problem. Just eat and be happy. Gonna need it.
Yeah,
Get a little
appreciate
bit
it.
more meat on your meat and bones.
More meat on mine. What about more meat on yours? He'll give you a pat on the back.
Oh, I eat as much. It just is. When he pats on the back, he hits, and then just feels like that's actually pretty sturdy.
Yeah, he probably does pause and go, I stand corrected. You're built like a rock under all that.
Well, I'm not the strongest, but if you have to go out living in the woods and fields and all year round, like you sort of like totally build up like your body. So
Hell yeah.
especially fall off trees and stuff like that, you get used to it.
Falling out of trees. Well, I guess that's why you're a member of the fairies and not the forest, huh?
Well, I'm not exactly the most dexterous, so like I just slip or trip.
Yeah, sorry. Didn't mean to sound like I was making fun or nothing. Thank you very much
Don't
for the
worry.
food, and enjoy the smoke leaf. I'll catch you later.
Well, yeah, you take care too.
And he'll probably step away a bit. And there'll be continuing treatments of that. Now, Tayana, Hallie, you have approached a group of fairies. What could go wrong?
What could
Did Hallie get back? Or did Stray get back yet? Is it just me? Okay.
I guess we're starting with just you. Hallie is
Okay.
currently having a moo moment. And yeah, I mean, these are
Yeah.
Fae. They're members of the Order of the Fae, so they recognize you, Tayana.
Yeah. Maybe
Hi, Ty.
wince a little bit, but they know it's a fun time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the con squad. You guys are of various levels of dumb or smart, but you are also, for the most part, tough as fuck.
I'm pretty decent across the board. I'm only a noodle.
Only a noodle. That's to say, various forms of strong or weak or smart or dumb or any of that, but you are pretty much, for the most part, in fact, I think literally all of you are positive con mods. Positive,
As we should be.
positive.
Kind of a dumb adventure if you don't have a constitution.
I need to
Well, I mean-
face tank spells, so I need to have a good con.
This is true. Yeah, it's like only one of you has a con mod of +1, none of you have zeros, and most of the rest of you have 2s or higher. Yeah, no, you guys are tough. It's very cool.
Yeah, but we shit in dexterity though.
No, your bunny is Dex back.
Well,
Ariel.
yeah, but they're
Ariel.
like only one there with the positive one, or what?
I've got a +2.
Yeah, no, yeah, you've got a dexterous meow too. You guys have actually got a startlingly competent class and stat score and like adventurers kits and tool spread.
We just have no like full arcane caster really.
Yeah. You
Hello?
don't. No, yeah, you have.
Uh,
Tayana's literally a sorcerer and has Arcana training.
I thought you were a warlock.
No, she's a Sorc.
Oh,
Mimic Sorc.
oh, never mind that.
Yeah, no, the only thing you guys don't have is a full ass rogue.
Oh, well,
And even then, like the spread of roguely abilities is like pretty reasonable across the rest of your group.
Might have a skill monkey, and I sort of fill that role in a little bit.
As long as
Yeah,
at least
you
one of
do
us
a-
knows how to pick locks, we're going to be just fine.
Yeah, I got these tools.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
so,
good.
So
We're-
like
we're
you
good.
have a spread of roguishness. I actually very much like the layout of your party. I also hate it because it means I can't significantly just challenge you by bullying you with one stat that you don't have, like strength, say, against a party of noodles.
You can't just put a large, heavy object and make us move it up the stairs.
You
Yeah,
can't just you can't just throw a Sir Hugh at us.
No.
Like when we all accidentally, independently of each other, made noodle arms.
Mm. It was great.
Not just
And it's
noodles,
like,
but
none of
dumb
you-
noodles.
Yeah, dumb noodles. But it's like you're all like, yeah, I'm gonna be like paladins and fighters and like sword deluxe, and then it turns out that every single one of you were like, yeah, but the decks of that. It's just wild.
And then surprise Pikachu face when we got our asses handed to us.
What do you mean adventuring parties need diversity? What?
What do you mean
Well,
you
that's-
can't just have 6 fighters?
But it meant that we could have justice bees. So
Yeah, we
Yeah,
have a
look,
justice
there's
bee.
even a
You're welcome.
There's a
Oh man,
it's-
6
it's
fighters would
quite-
actually be really good.
Oh, you're
six
right,
fights
it
would
would
be
be.
hilarious.
Yeah, we got
I wanna do
justice
that,
bees,
like,
so
for
worth a
a-
while.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So Tayana, Hallie, you escort yourselves over to the ferries, and Hallie, you see that they immediately seek out Tayana and will perch on shoulders and play idly with ears while she sits there and makes bullied cat noises.
Meow.
I just told you to put me wherever the party was liveliest.
Yeah, that would probably be wherever fairies are, and immediately once resituated, they begin to play a number of instruments.
I'll restring my lute so I can join in.
Yeah, you have a helper this time, so your horrible disadvantage is being cancelled out by one of these fairies.
Let's give that performance check again. Oh yeah.
All right, which is technically a crit. That's
Jesus.
20. It's 28.
Yeah.
See, like that's where again, like that's a 26. Like this is
Yeah.
sorry.
I've been
27
beat.
even.
You have been touched by
Oh,
the
I don't know
spirit
how
of
to-
Jack Black. You
Yeah.
play the greatest song in the world.
Yeah,
I won't remember it later.
you won't.
You
That's
can make a
just not how
tribute
that
to
goes.
it.
But mostly because of the drinking, because the moment you guys get started in a real performance and this epically busty cat girl starts playing, people will wander over with drinks and stuff and begin getting a little bit raucous.
Yeah, so I'm the perfect person to double up skills on, because if I can cancel out my disadvantage, I'm pretty good.
Yeah, all you have to do is make it to baseline.
Pretty much.
But that's difficult. You need a helping hand all the time, and it doesn't do anything unless you succeed in the first place. So say the DC was 16 and you got a 15, it doesn't mean you had 20. You didn't succeed, so you don't get a bonus.
Right. Yeah, it's like it's like 9 again.
Basically, yeah. I knew there'd be at least one
Well-
guidance heading in there. Yeah, we knew it.
I deliberately didn't take guidance because I knew that Hedrah would take it.
I mean, it's one of the strongest cantrips in the game. It's like Eldritch Blast, Guidance, and Toll the Dead, I think, are like the strongest.
Yeah. And the Eldritch Blast is only the strongest because
Well, it's
because of the
damage
modifier.
type, it's force.
It is force. That is true. It's
That is
And
honestly
force,
why
yeah.
it's strongest, because you don't get any bonuses to it for quite a while into being a lock. But having cantrip 1d10 force is amazingly good because it works on basically everything ever.
1d10 that can crit.
Yes, it is
that's
actually
also true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
'cause
is why it
attack
should have
roll.
just been called a class feature and not a cantrip.
Yep. Yep.
Meh.
Would have been nice. That way warlocks could have like prestidigitation and mending. And also Eldritch Blast.
Mhm.
Not at Lamb.
If you say so.
Yeah, having options sucks. This is a D&D 1 household. No, it's not. It never will be. Thank God. But yeah, before you leave, I mean, your characters also have money and stuff on you. There are stalls in place. You can do things like make purchases. and buy things that you think you might need on the journey that you don't already have in your character sheets. And these are all knights and such, but
I mean,
orders, and many of the knights who came here had to travel quite far to get here.
did we get any money? Because I sure have my
What are their
starting money.
backgrounds?
Yeah,
What
I
is your
should bet
background?
GP.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have your starting cash,
That's
which is
Oh,
not enough
5
to buy
gold to get
anything.
through.
I couldn't
Can't even
buy
afford a
like
healing
wep-
potion.
I wouldn't be able to even buy a weapon with this stuff, like a good weapon with it.
well, yeah, no,
Right,
I'm
yes.
thinking more things like food, bedrolls. Like if any of you are missing adventuring, like equipment things that you might actually need, now
How
would be the
much is a
time. I don't want to
tent?
hear anyone. Yeah, I don't want to hear anyone going,
Hmm.
"I don't have a tent," when I just given you the chance to buy a tent.
I mean, does the bedroll count as a
Okay,
tent, or is it
question.
like a separate
No.
thing?
A bedroll is a roll that you sleep on, but
All right.
if you
how
don't have a
much is a-
tent, then you're in the air.
how much is a tent?
D&D
I
Beyond.
I would like to ask a
.com.
question.
Oh,
Does
my
GP, does the starting goal that we sort of get for character creation, does that get turned to silver or does it stay GP?
It's still GP. I don't do
Oh, it's-
7D's silver standard.
It's 2
Okay.
GP.
Okay, then
I
I
will-
can actually
Alright.
turn that back.
How
I will
much
buy a
is
nice tent for 2 GP.
how much is a tent?
2
2
GP.
GP.
Okay.
It's the only thing on there that the adventurer's kit is missing, or explorer's kit, I should say.
Pretty much.
Enjoy.
Oh wait, no. Now I can
oh.
buy a 10-foot pole.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And also, you like 25 GP can buy you a holy water flask.
But I only have 10. And other people only have like 5.
I mean, Savin has 25.
I did have 25.
Yeah, you
Alright,
can
I'm gonna
also
go
cool your
s-
funds.
Let's see.
Traded in these torches for 10 foot.
Nice kit, large skin.
You could buy a nice abacus.
Thanks.
But yeah, have a rummage of that. Like everything on the adventuring gear section there is available in this place.
Let's see here. I should pick up a blanket too. It's a 7. It's a 5 silver. So just doing that.
Yeah, and as you're all like going around buying and purchasing and preparing and all of that, people are going to do things like ask you, where are you off to then? Because it's no small secret that your group walked out of the tent full of Grandmasters.
Let's see. The Grandmaster didn't tell us like keep all of it like a big old secret, right? Or they didn't imply anything like that, right?
They didn't, but that's on to you to be subtle about or not. I don't know. It depends how paranoid you are, I guess. But people will ask regardless.
Yeah, I will tell them that me and some others of other knightly orders have been asked to do some certain jobs for the Grandmasters that they simply don't have time to go around doing.
I take it you got a lot of travel ahead of you.
Of a sort, yes.
Well, tell you what. In fact, I'm going to give you guys your first proper skill test. I want to see how much you're going to learn about the road ahead.
Okay.
Where is it?
Oh no,
Oh,
they were scared off by the
no.
sound of skill tests.
That's comp crash, so a while ago.
Oh.
Oh.
Yep.
Alright, we're back. That's fine. You probably don't want the person with natural disadvantage as part of your skill test anyway. Yeah, would you like to gather information about the road ahead? You guys, all you know is that you're
Sure.
heading like a week north.
Yeah. I will attempt
Okay,
that.
guys.
What would
I
you
bought-
like for it?
What would you like to use for it, for gathering information?
I think a good amount of persuasion, just talking back and forth, some casual conversation to try and probe him around the area like that type of thing. See what he'll divulge.
Yeah, sure. Give me a persuade.
It's
Yeah.
not my best work.
He apologizes. He came from the probably came from the straight from the Order of the Hares keep, just like you did.
A shame.
Investigation 10. At the very least, Tristan, you'd speak to someone who tells you that the weather's probably going to be okay.
Well, that's nice. Speaking of gathering things, I'm gonna approach Ariel at some point while we're all getting our provisions sorted out. Hey, Lady Ariel,
Yes?
I heard you mentioning a while ago you had a lack of ranged weapons.
Oh, I had a remedy that sense.
Ah, good, good. Mind if I take a look?
Sure. And I will hold out a longbow.
Tristan will give it a couple good pulls and flexes. Ah, bought a good one. Serve you well.
That is the hope.
Let's make sure the rest of our companions have their weapons sorted out, though, just in case.
Of course. And I assume you've already sorted out yours.
Tristan will pat the long sword on his belt and the enormous, jousting lance that's now been wrapped up in a big blanket and is slung over his back. Yep.
As you go as well, it's probably a moment's effort is required to drag yourself away from the sight of Vanessa, who's leant on this other knight's shoulder so that she can get a good look at the game board, and so it's just cleavage forever.
No, must resist Ariel's mom. Okay.
All right, you made it.
All right, we made it out. No.
Well, it would seem I'm needed elsewhere, mothers. I'll be back later.
All right, good luck. All right, and yeah, you do also come across a human, and she'll put out a hand. Hey, hold up there.
Hey. You're, Sir Hugh, right?
So I seem mostly to go by.
Take it that's not your name, then.
No, just a nickname. Hala Usla. Man.
So she's a half-orc, right?
You aren't sure.
All right. And the pun is lost on Tristan. Just nod. It's an interesting nickname. Interesting squire, too. I'll lean over the table and offer a hand. Tristan DeLance.
Hi there. Oh, I loved watching you, Lance stuff.
The name's appropriate.
My name is Jazzy. It's a pleasure.
Jazzy, huh? What
Yeah.
kind of music are you into?
Classical. Choir. I like church prayers. They're real nice.
Me too. Joke falls completely flat. Excellent.
She smiles and her wings do a little buzz buzz.
Oh, that's adorable.
Jazz hasn't been invented yet.
Yeah, I know.
So for her, it would be just ska.
Scar. Yeah, she fucking loves Scar. She, basically, Sahyu goes, I just wanted to make sure she got a chance to say hi. It's rare that she sees young, up-and-coming lancers doing their thing, considering she wants to become a jouster, despite the, difficulties that might entail. And she'll gesture at the fact that Jazzy has an insect abdomen and so would probably struggle a bit on a horse.
It's not traditional, but I bet if you ride side saddle, it's not as stable. You could do it. The abdomen might counterbalance the weight. Yeah, tell you what.
Like that? She will point at the bunny girl who is currently side-saddling a horse and shooting about a series of targets.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. And tell you what, the lances are over, but the range is open. Why don't we see if it'll work?
Sure. And she will excitedly leap to her feet, which does distracting things. And zip over to a number of like horses and such with you.
And
then you can
as we're
also see
going,
on the
Tristan.
Grandmaster's horse, that there is Lord Andrew's fucking majestic motherfucker of a magic ass looking horse. This muscular unit of a boy.
My lord, tip fedora. No, as we're going over to the horses, Tristan will just offhandedly comment. Well, I unseated the boar today, so if you unseat me, that clearly means you're the biggest deal here. Something to work for. All right, let's see
He
if we
gives
can
her knuckles a crack.
get you in the saddle, properly
Sure.
balanced.
And you give me a skill test. Let's see if you can actually help teach her how to do the thing.
Sure. Clearly, this is Arcana. No. Athletics? Yeah. All right. So let's hop
Either athletics or performance, I suppose.
Well, one of those is a large number, and the other is a very small number. So, depending on if she's assisting, that's very good.
She is probably unable to actually assist you because she just isn't edumacated enough in the case.
Very snub.
Let's see. There we go. Just make sure that was fixed. But yeah, no, the 12 you can get her comfortably seated.
All right, there. Now, I don't know how your stinger works back there, but if you get hit, don't sting the horse. That's gonna end badly for you.
Oh, yeah, no. I haven't accidentally stung anything in ages. It's okay.
Right. Good to hear. All right. And just go get come here, unit. You're gonna ride you. No.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, do you approach the Grandmaster's horse?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Give me an animal handling.
I'm not gonna actually try and take it out for a ride. I'm just gonna go pet its snoot.
Yeah, I know. Let's see how well he takes to you.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Lord Andrew's horse has always been a biter.
Ow! Fuck!
Gives you a huff and does like a self prance on the spot, like clip clop with his front hooves.
No apple for you then, dick.
He snorts at you.
Gonna go find another practice horse then. Mount up.
There are plenty of joust horses. In fact, you can probably just borrow the horse that you were just recently jousting on. It's relatively familiar.
Excellent. All right, yeehaw.
Yeehaw. All right. I guess I'll make a test for her. Fear her mighty +3 modifier.
She crits me.
All right.
I'm gonna laugh my ass off. No.
No crit. She misses.
Boop.
Boop. Yeah, all right. That defeats Squire. You immediately floor her.
Wow. All right. Well, the question is, does she like get completely knocked off, or is she able to like hang in the saddle a little bit? And I guess she's actually probably unconscious. But
yeah, she'd love to if she hadn't been reduced to 0. So I'll make a con check for her. Well, luckily her trainer was an orc, so she chooses to go to 1 instead.
Excellent. In that case, yeah. Does she fall out of the saddle?
All right, have you used up all your luck? You have not. All right, she fucking seats the saddle. You completely blow her away, and you see her eyes go from it. You're like, oh shit! But she snaps back to reality before she can fall off the horse.
All right. Yeah. Tristan will just toss aside the now broken training lance and canter back over. Well, that worked out better than I thought.
But she'll give you a thumbs up.
Pat her on the chitinous abdomen. Just breathe from down there. It'll stop hurting in a minute. And hey, you're still on a horse. That's better than most squires can say. Or Sir Boars.
And she gives you another croaky thumbs up. And will, like, very drunkenly sway buzz her way back over to Human. But hey, good job. You didn't, like, kill a level 1.
I'd have been a little sad if I killed the squire. Just crit shit her for like 20-something damage.
That would have fucked her.
That would have been so sad.
I legitimately would have been upset with Tristan if he just immediately killed the first Justice Buzz we meet.
It's fine. You just non-lethal them. It's a sporting thing. You don't ever strike for
To be fair, yes, it is a training lance. It wouldn't
I
kill
mean,
her.
training lances have killed plenty of people, but yeah.
Yeah. It hasn't killed plenty of
What?
D&D people, because D&D people didn't
No.
exist.
Training lances don't actually kill.
I mean, they're not supposed to, unless, they break, or, hit you in the throat, or...
Yo, no, they're supposed to break, and that's the whole shtick.
Right, but
That's
I mean,
what
the
training
splinters,
lances
go into your armor. Like, that's been the plot of plenty of fantasy stories, is, like, a training lance just murdering a dude.
Yeah, but that's what they are. They're fantasies. I literally
Hello, welcome to
what-
Dungeons
what
and
is
Dragons.
D&D?
A
The
fantasy story.
Yeah, no, the healing tents have been busy with people who have caught a little bit too much lance action. But in general, if you're rolling non-lethal, you're okay.
Yeah.
The crit shit would have probably meant that she'd be immediately rushed to the healer's tent, though, so that she doesn't do any dying, but it can't kill her outright when it's non-lethal.
And that's why I'm out of spell slots for today.
It's an unfortunate thing to declare right before the Fire Nation attacks.
I know, right?
Right? Yeah.
Why is a shovel 2 gold? Probably because it's made to last. And it's a feat of blacksmithing that's relatively, honestly, on par with a lot of weapons.
I mean, you ask why a shovel is 2 GP, and a Krieger frowns upon you.
It doesn't say my soul and lifeblood, which is so fucking unfair and broken. Yeah. In general, shovels are like a good smithing, and they're sturdy AF and sharp and useful as improvised weapons. I definitely need to just change a few shitty goblin tokens so they're wielding shovels instead of normal weapons. And it's like, holy shit, this is more valuable than if they brought spears.
It is though. I think a spear is actually cheaper than a shovel.
Yeah. Because a spear is a very simple, it's just some metal on the long stick, whereas
It's
the
a
shovel is
dagger
a
on a
tool.
stick.
Yeah, whereas the shovel is a legit tool that's meant to take your whole body weight pushing down on it into hard, frozen, broken earth and cut through the ground. Yeah, shovels are legit as fuck and probably weren't cheap.
You know what? I'll buy a shovel.
Hell yeah.
I'm down to 3 gold.
You have gold?
We all did.
If you
I
had
mean,
gold
not
left over in your
anymore.
starting okay, yours is all gone. I hope that you have many delicious and
I
cool treats.
also converted some of my gold into Electrum because, you made the point of saying not everyone, people aren't going to just be carrying around gold. Well, all right then.
Yeah, it'll be a lot easier for you to do things like get tavern rooms with Electrum than gold.
I guess I should convert I'll keep 1 gold and convert 2 of my gold into Electrum. So that's
Yeah, good move.
4 Electrum?
Four Electrum, yeah.
So, Sir Faunra, you have everything you need for this trip?
I believe I am suitably prepared for my skill set.
Good. Just walk on by.
Yeah.
Go over here. Ask the same question to Hallie and Tayana.
You have to push through a miniature crowd that had been forming around them.
You know it, Tristy.
Tristy.
Right.
Nom.
Sir Tayana, are you prepared?
Just doing some last minute looking through the sheet because my computer crashed, and now I can actually look through the wiki page.
Yay.
She can't hear you because there are 2 fairies, just all up in her ear tufts.
Yeah, rocking out into them tufts.
right by your ears.
What?
What?
Tough.
Oh yeah, I know a thing I need to buy. Lantern.
Lantern, that's right, blindos. Make sure you got your fucking sources of light.
Am I the
Needing
only one
sources
with
of
dark
light.
vision? Or
I
do
sure
the
don't
buns have
have
dark
any.
vision?
I mean, guys,
Yeah. Light cantrip, good, but also it's only one object. So
yeah, my horn.
But multiple sources of light, though, in case I'm more than like 10 feet away from you.
Yeah, torches are good to have.
Yeah. Torches are lame,
Just
though. They
traded
go
all
out
my-
really easy. I'm gonna get a lantern.
I just traded all my torches in for a 10-foot pole. Which I don't need them, I got dark vision.
Can you tie a
Okay.
lantern to your belt?
Yep.
That's a good
Yes.
idea to have because I can't I can't hold a torch and swing my sword.
This is true.
But-
Yeah.
As we learned, a torch is the most dangerous weapon at level 1.
It's true. So yeah, Tristan's finally gonna come over here and take a knee next to Bob, who's in the middle of cooking. You ready
I'm
for
gonna
this,
get
son?
crowbar.
Holds out the bowl of like steaming hot food there. There you go for you too. Some nice soft bread for yourself. Just trench bread here. You go.
Tristan will take it, look confused for a moment. Right. Do you have everything you need for this trip? Sir, Bob?
Yeah.
So no, no, sir, then.
Well, I sort of got knighted for saving somebody, so I guess it's still sir, but I'm Bob. That's
It's still, well, whatever you wish then, Sir Bob.
just go with like totally just go with Bob. Like it's easy, it's fast to say, and like you won't try to like trip on it and try to make like longer nicknames, like waste your time. Like Bob, Bobby, that works nice and short.
Might I have some food, Mr. Bob?
Just get already has the bowl in his hand, so it's just cutting up some trencher bread. There we go. It's nice for you too. Here, enjoy. Still,
Sure.
get what it's hot.
You are very incredible at this whole cooking deal. Very good.
Yeah, there are a few
Oh,
sane people who
yes.
are like taking midday food coma naps.
I'll start
It's nice
walking
and
over,
hearty
still
and-
playing an instrument, walking over to Bob.
Yeah, and let's see, just opens up the tiny smoker there and just fans it a little bit more, like another minute or two, and just be ready. Some nice preserved pork and been smoking it up for readiness here.
Leered. Hey,
Oh yeah, like
pork
it-
smoked.
When you throw in some applewood chips into it to get a nice, richer, glazy flavor to it. The best part about it that also that it's been wrapped a little bit, just lightly wrapped with some leaves. That way, the smoke will penetrate into it without most of the moisture gets pulled out. Instead, it's just locked in better. So it's nice when you pull it out. It's nice, glistening fatty as well.
Very leered. And yeah, Isabel will grin and accept, and presumably tease you for immediately running away from the first social situation he's been presented with his new companions today.
What? No, I thought you'd want food.
I do. Thank you very much.
Well,
She will
you're
grin.
welcome.
Mhm.
Immediately turn around and leave. Fraggle. Back and be so
She'll
cool.
still follow. She'll follow after you, like just still munching. Nom, nom, nom.
Alright, over here.
Yeah. Isabel thanks you for the food, Bob, and returns the bowl. Yeah, the time of leaving at noon fast approaches. Although this gathering is going to be extending itself on into the drunker hours of the eve and so on, you'll have an adventure to get to.
It is true. We do definitely do.
So we come to everyone's favorite part of the travel roll.
Yay!
Hurrah!
Hooray!
Well,
Do I have anything actually useful for travel rolls?
It's a good question, do you? So, the travel roll is made up of navigation, scouting, and being a quartermaster, which if you succeed at it, you can then perform a cook's test as an extra thing.
Assume Hedrah's got quartermaster covered.
really? I thought I was gonna do the whole scouting part. Okay.
Well,
Fine.
as a reminder, navigators use operating vehicles as appropriate, or the navigator's tools, or a nature check. So
Well,
he was capable of doing that.
I ain't a navigator. Nope.
Okay,
Ain't got
let's
any
see.
Never mind.
tools.
Where's the travel handout? There it is. So, okay, we got a scout.
Yeah, I can do the whole cooking part, can I?
Yeah, so
Yes.
quartermaster and cook is Bobo, and then does anyone have nature or hop vehicles? Otherwise, Bob might have to be the navigator instead.
I got the 3 in nature.
Uh,
I have a 5 in cooking, though.
Barbarian friend, do you have survival
Yes.
and or nature?
No.
Neither.
Mm-mm.
Does
Does
anyone have
anyone-
survival?
Right.
Nature.
Have we found the
Well,
hole in this
wait.
team's
Ah,
incredible?
Christ.
Wait. No,
fuck.
no. Question. Which skills did you're a barbarian?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
you just took what's called like pre-picked skills instead of the skill proficiency that you get.
What?
What?
She's gone with athletics, insight, intimidation, and religion. Just hasn't picked survival. That's all. You don't get to pick all of them.
I was wondering where like the religion part came. That's
Acolyte
what I was
background.
asking if the
Background.
religion was a pre-pick.
My
So
backgrounds.
Oh,
yeah,
see a lot.
does anybody have survival or nature? Other than
No.
Bob.
Yeah,
I have
guess.
a 1 in survival, but it's not trained.
Okay. Follow-up question. Who has the best nature or wisdom in the party other than Bob? I'm guessing it's the cleric.
Me.
All right, cleric. You're our navigator. We're gonna
Yeah,
need you to.
I did double check. Due to the combination of Knight of the Order and Cleric, I did not have the option to take Survival, which I would have done because it's a wisdom-based skill.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean,
Well,
Wait,
looks
well,
like you're
who's
raw
who's
dogging
helping?
navigate.
Wait. Who's helping navigate? Because we have 6 people, so I mean,
Yeah,
you're
we
gonna
need
have
to-
help on something.
We need to get you help. Maybe Tayana?
Tayana or the barbarian can help.
I guess I can, but I'm not trained in anything that help navigation.
Good thing is you don't have to be trained in anything. You just need to be corporeally present.
The only time
And-
I ever count that is needing like a knowledge-based check, like Arcana, religion, like history. Those ones I will require you to have a like proficiency if you want to assist, because that requires a literal education to have information useful. But
Alright.
anyone can help anyone do a basic task.
Alternatively, would you rather help the quartermaster? Doesn't really matter because we have 2 spare people and 2 assistance roles to fill.
Wait, no, it doesn't matter at all because we have 6 people. So
Yeah, I know, that's what I
every
mean.
roll's
It doesn't
assisted.
matter who
Yeah,
assists who.
yeah.
Just confirming so we know who is doing what. Although, actually, who has the highest perception in this party?
2.
I have a 3.
Train.
All right. Let me rephrase that. Of the people who aren't making primary checks, which is to say Tayana, Fauna, and Ariel. So you said you had like a 2?
I have a 3.
Okay, you have a 3. Tayana, what's yours? A 1?
2.
2. Fauna, what's your perception?
0.
Excellent. All right, Ariel, you're not assisting anybody. You're going to be the person who's not taking a -5 on all their perception checks, so we don't get ambushed.
Oh, I'm not taking a -5.
No, you
I'm
would
rolling
be if
with
you're
advantage,
assisting.
I'm rolling.
See, if you make a check or assist a check, you take a -5 to your passive perception as we travel.
Is that how it works?
Yeah.
Also, wait, why do you have a 0, Kina? You should be trained in it. You're a bunny.
Am I automatically trained in it?
Yeah, all bunnies are trained in perception.
No. Then it's a 2.
Just because of them big ears.
Still, Ariel is the person with the highest passive perception who isn't needed to take a roll. So yeah, let's have you not assist anybody, and keep an ear out for trouble.
Okay, then I guess you don't have assistance on your scout roll then.
Yep, they'll be fine.
I mean,
Which
if I roll
Which is basically
scouting,
what that is for.
as long as I can roll at least a 5, I can get
I
a
think the
+5
scouting
on that.
roll- I think the scouting roll is specifically to avoid that, Savin.
Yeah.
Like
It's true.
getting ambushed.
It's true.
The only time you'd want to have a spare one is if you fuck up a scouting roll.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
You're like, but
Who
you don't
is-
have the people. You don't have the people free to do that.
Who is doing the scouting?
That would be me.
Raw dog.
Save,
Technically speaking,
I think he's the top perception or whatever.
Athletics.
If I'm rolling raw dog, I'd have a +5 anyway, no matter what, because the DC is 5.
If you succeed.
If you
not
if you
how
note
that
that DC says +5, so it's whatever the baseline DC is with that plus on it.
Oh, okay, now I get it.
Yeah.
So if you scroll all the way up to the top of travel, you can see those baselines, and then you can see how weather changes things or any of that kind of stuff.
That's what's changed from
Oh,
boards.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, to mention, I got Druid craft, so I can actually predict the weather for the next 24 hours.
That is definitely handy. You've been told, like, for this next week, though, it should be basically like clear skies / very light drizzles.
Okay, so if we don't want to keep anyone spare for perception, then let's just all make the 3 rolls with assistance, and if the scouting fucks up and we get a random encounter, then we're kind of boned, but that's fine. I like surprise rounds.
Yeah,
Do you like
happens.
surprise rounds?
Well,
That's great.
who did the 16 survival roll?
That was for the navigation.
Navigation.
So let's make a scouting roll with advantage. Hey, I didn't fuck it up.
I mean,
Okay.
in the future, once we
Nice.
have companions, we can worry more about who not assisting. But for now, it's just might as well do everything with assistance.
Okay, so and then I do the quartermastering.
Yep.
So this is
That's-
with advantage.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
None of us needed the advantage.
All right, and
And
a
then
quarter mastery roll was succeeded, so you can make a cooking roll.
Okay, let's see if it's decent. So this is with advantage. So
No, one can help you with this one.
That's unfortunate.
too bad.
A shame. That would have been a hard ass crit. Okay.
Oh well.
Unfortunately, you do not make the requirements to reduce your rations. As you can see, cooking has been made like a lot harder to have a legitimate effect on you guys.
Does it mean we have to increase our overall ration?
No,
since it
no,
wasn't
you don't.
failing?
You don't fail. You just don't like clear the DC with by +10.
Well, then why does cooking have a failure thing in it? Is that for like nat ones or something?
I mean, if, for instance, that cooking test was like a 5, then that was a failure. But like,
Okay.
there's a higher floor for getting positive effects, but it's very hard to fail.
Okay.
Or of course, you can choose to not take the cooking roll if you feel like you don't want to risk it because you're going through like a shit. Like you're going through a swamp. You're like, I don't really want to sit down and like make nightly cookouts while doing this
Right,
journey.
right.
I don't want to risk
Right.
it, etc. Aw, Tristan. And as you begin your lonely walk to the northern lands, I'm going to take you to the fucking map, baby.
Oh boy.
Welcome to the map.
Man,
Now, I take it you
look
can
at
all
this.
see. Pardon?
Said, man, who did this? Look at this. This is so unprofessional.
I know.
Can't even color in the
Sorry.
lines. Tisk
Just
tisk.
goddamn mouth, please. This broke me.
Tisk tisk.
My soul hurt.
No, it looks great, Skow.
Yeah. Certainly feels way less great, but you know, whatever.
I like it. It looks good. You did good.
I did okay. So, your quest
did
is
okay.
supposedly a week to the north of you. You should all have control of this gathering token and be able to see with it, yes?
Yes.
All right. So, your first day, which direction are you going out of these northern-ish directions?
We
I
have
assume
no...
straight line.
Yeah, we have no reason not to go straight, because that's the only direction we were given, so...
Yeah,
Yes.
just north. Somewhere up there.
Yep.
We gotta wander over yonder.
Okay.
Eh.
All right. And since you've been successfully scouting and navigating, I can reveal the tile before you bump your heads into it.
Hooray!
Da-da-da-da.
The
It's a
fire
forest.
swamp.
The Death Hill. No, it's a hilly forest.
Well,
Nice.
Wait, are you sure? Because I see some wood there and like 2 lumps at the bottom. Are you
yeah,
sure
that's
it's not uphill?
100% Dick and Scrow.
I know it is, but it's also hills and forest.
Or it could be tits and wood.
Yeah, I went
That's what I was
for
going
tits and
for.
wood. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Mountains and wood?
mounds.
Yeah.
So again, we were given directions of north, and hills and woods might have monsters in them, so neat.
Okay. Let's see here. Your scouting roll was the 20, right?
Mhm.
So long before it would present a visible danger to you, you can spot a series of it looks like very hilly, broken ravines. There have been some wooden bridges set across a number of these ravines, like basically just bound logs placed there for foot travel across it. But more importantly, as you're making your way through this like hilled and wooded area, you can see certain signs on the ground, like looks like broken bones, or people have left like little charms or bone chimes, things that make noise essentially as well, almost like some kind of early warning system. Who would like to give me a nature check?
Just one person, or can everyone?
Yeah.
Oh, I would like to make not a nature check, but why is my phone going off?
I bet they want you to come into work late. Early.
15. Does 15 pass?
God damn it.
So you say we can each make nature checks?
Yep. Like, Tristan can bring attention to this to you, so you can all make various checks.
I don't know what
Alright.
the fuck it is, though.
Well, if Tayana hits the DC, that's
Yes, that's
Right,
correct.
yeah.
Tiana, Ariel, you are both aware that these are goblin signs. They are used for tracking the passage of like large creatures that are traveling through like higher portions of the hill, or on the rare occasion that anyone steps into the lower portions of the ravine, human travelers. So you're probably approaching goblins.
Be on the lookout.
All right.
Mhm.
Let's try and give them a wide berth. No reason to pick a fight when we're looking for somebody.
Okay.
Right.
Let's see here. Would you like to give me a group stealth?
On second thought, let's
Oh,
just
boy.
fight them.
You sure you don't want to give a group stealth? I sure have disadvantage because of jingle jangle scale mail.
Disadvantage
Yeah.
because
I think
Yeah,
we
okay.
all suck at this except Bob, so fuck it. We're just
Yeah,
gonna
So
respectfully
wait,
walk
so-
around them.
Hall. So like,
Oh, Savin.
What?
What do you mean? We all suck at this except Bob.
You're not wearing plate armor, are you? I mean, your dex might be
I have a
shit, but
negative
you don't have
fucking dexterity.
have
So-
disadvantage though, which is better than the rest of us except
Oh, that
maybe
is true.
Faunra.
What?
Are you wearing heavy armor or
No.
medium armor?
No.
Light armor. All right. Well then, we have two
Barbarian.
people who don't have disadvantage. Nice.
so
Yeah, we should just walk around respectfully and hopefully they won't fight us.
What is it?
There's some
Sorry.
goblins up ahead.
God.
Yeah.
if we're walking around, wouldn't they see that or something like that? Like that's the.
There
Are-
are ways to give it a wide berth, although that might steal perhaps even an hour or two out of your journey. You succeeded your scouting roll, so I won't bully you if you want to start a fight, but avoiding them is actually going to take like a considerable amount of time.
I mean, if it's just an hour or two, then yeah, fuck it.
Okay.
Fair enough. Yeah.
All right then. I will roll a side thing. Okay.
Nice.
Nice indeed. So, you notice the signs and evidences of like essentially goblin hunting grounds. And go around it. It takes a little while longer because you're dodging like footbridges across ravines and stuff. There are portions where you have to do some literal climbing, and you find that by the end of the day, you're still in this hex. It's not a fast journey. So it's 2 so far. And then the next day, I assume you're going to continue on this journey.
Yeah.
Do we have anything giving us passive rations, or should I start marking them all?
Yeah.
I.e.,
good
does anyone
question.
have the Outlander background?
Don't believe so.
no.
All right, rations
Does
off it
Bob
is.
have? Wait. Does Bob have Goodberry?
Bob does indeed have good berries.
Does Bob cast Goodberry using one of his 2 spell slots per day?
Well, yeah, before going to fucking sleep because the good berries last for 24 fucking hours.
That's true.
That's
All right,
true.
I'll mark off
Uh,
rations for this day, and then after that, we can have Goodberry tomorrow.
I recommend the cakes and cookies so they don't go stale then.
Oh yeah,
And we'll have a
definitely has
deli-
some.
Yeah,
I'll
we
You can
have
do
6
definitely
of
have a
these.
gift.
That's true. All right. I guess I'll just mark off their existence then.
Wah, wah.
All right. We shall have delicious treat.
So yeah, you can have a delicious treat meal, and then before going to sleep with a guard up, you can perform the casting of Goodberry, and then munch for free the next day. And yeah. And then on day 3, you reach the edge of the forest. Let me just reveal for you. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Oh my god, I forgot that. I really do wish that hex snapping was a real thing instead of me having to manually.
Yeah.
You should
Hex snap.
tweet angrily at Roll20.
They've had it for like 3 years. People tweeting at him about that stuff.
Yep. Okay, and you are in open ground and fields once more. From this vantage point, you can also see that there is. Let's see here. Doot. Generally in this area. The hills and wood forests continue on a little bit further. But your journey north continues to go smoothly. All right. This day on the open plains, you are treated to the wonderful sight of just some sheeps. Just some sheeps and a shepherd.
Is a shepherd a redhead kitsune who's trapped in time?
Nah, it's some straw-haired young lad. He tells you that there is a village like straight up just north of here, right before the town of Lethiel.
Yeah, I'll ask him while we're here. Say, kid, have you seen a knight wandering past here? Or the Black Knights?
Oh, not around here per se, but there was definitely a couple heading into Lethiel itself. I'm sure they'd had complaints of, I think it was goblins and wolves and stuff.
Great, thanks. On to Lethiel.
My pleasure, sir. You smile. And
Oh, before we go, I should warn him, like, if he goes grazing further, like, towards the forest, like, there are some goblins in that area.
why, Miss Knight, you must think I'm crazy for wanting to go that far south. Everyone knows there's monsters in them hills. There's monsters in all them hills. No, just me and my sheep, and there's the village farms over there. And
Fair
he'll
enough.
gesture like 5 miles on.
Fair enough. I just thought to give warning in case you did decide to go that far.
Alright. He will give you a gappy-toothed smile and then continue with his sheepies. And as you approach this way, you reach the village in this hex, and it is signposted, no less. Let's see here. Would someone like to roll me a d8? Let's see how accurate their signposting is. Shit, it's accurate. I'll be damned. Alright. Polygon reveal. Doot, 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 doot. That is a rare occurrence. Do not get used to it.
Where's this fucking village?
So,
It's in our hex.
give me a sec. Do they sit in the GM layer? Your quest location, the town of Lethiel, is directly ahead of you. Currently, you're on a nonsense, like a no-name village. I'm not putting every single one of those on the map.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if it's somewhere you end up staying for an extended period of time, then sure, I'll put a marker in for it, but I'm not going to do that for everywhere. But the town of Lethiel is not the only place that's signposted around here. There is also a place known as the Hanger's Copse, accompanied by like a warning sign painted in red, like hammered into this signpost. Now, would anyone like to give me a history check on the Hanger's Copse?
I can give it a shot.
Womp womp.
Faunra.
I don't know why I clicked twice.
Don't know why either. Fauna, you have had the Hangman's Copse. It was a place wherein a large number of trainee, like soldiers and aspirants, all at once ran away dishonorably in combat from a group of like great beast riding soldiers of darkness. For failing the people nearby in such a dire time. They were, as a group, sentenced to hanging. It is said that the place is still very haunted.
I will draw a holy symbol on myself and will point in that direction that we should not go that way.
Very well.
Yeah.
I'll try and avoid that place. dark spirits still lurk in that location.
Of course they are. Cowards in life, cowards in death.
Too afraid to face their own punishment at the hands of death.
Yep. Just reveal a little bit, so
Well,
presumably you can see the H save for hand scopes.
Yes.
Cool.
Barely, but yes.
just say like, well, even if they were cowards in life and like the cowards in death and all that, they just like throwing around all that like negativity. It's like not gonna do you good. It's not gonna do them any good. Like it's just gonna make it worse. So that like if they like thrive on negativity, you just make them stronger. So you like wish them like passing on instead, so that they could leave,
What
like
are you
not
rambling
haunted
on about?
anymore.
I do wish them to pass on, but as they are a problem. If they are still
Yeah.
haunting there.
Yep. And there is one last place that is lined up. A tavern. It is known as, let's see here, Farron's Bolt Hole.
Wait,
Apparently it
Barrett's
is
ball hole?
Bolt Hole.
Oh, bolt. Okay, I thought you said bold like kobold.
No, not the Bolt
Sexy
Hole.
kobold times, like what?
Yes, Farron's bold hole. It doubles as a brothel.
Ah, yes, the Kobold Brothel. Excellent.
Kobold brothel club.
But your destination would happen to be the town of Lethil. And that night, do you stay in the village or do you stay on the outskirts? Like your nights, you can just literally go let us sleep in wherever the fuck, and they'll give you a house.
If they have a house free, I don't see why we shouldn't.
It's possible they don't, but they might. You could coast up in a barn.
I mean, even a barn would be
Hey,
better than
roof over your
just...
head is better than nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure. They look horribly ashamed that they are putting nights out into a barn, though.
It's quite fine.
No, just tap them on the shoulder. It's like it's okay. Like it's I totally understand.
Any sort of
We
roof
all
above our...
exactly. Look, see, she completely knows the gig of the land. Like anything works when you're out in here, and this is the best. We accept. Y'all good. Y'all good people here. So like, totally chill.
Is there so where are we staying?
In a barn in a village, random no-name village. You are just south of your destination of Lethil.
Okay.
Now, do you guys have a watch rotation?
We should.
Yeah.
I'd like to know that order just for future reference. I will probably end up hiding it in your travel tokens GM layer, just so I know, like, if something happens during this time, they'd see it, etc. So can you figure out your watch order, please? I believe you need 4 watches for a full night if it's a 2-hour rotation.
4 watches? What the heck? This is strange and unusual. I don't like it.
Strange.
Should it be 3
unusual.
watches?
Well, isn't
instead?
it
That's how we've always done it, but it's up to you. I guess.
Okay.
Usually,
Yeah,
it's,
3
the standard
watches.
is 3 watches.
Oh, okay, that's fine then. All right, yeah, your order for 3 watches then, please.
Bob is on second.
I'll
I'd be
take
more than
morning.
willing. I'll be
I'll
more than willing to take the first watch.
All right.
The
Yeah.
Dargon. The
Probably
Dargons
join-
will take watch together.
Excellent.
I'll take second watch with Bob.
I guess
Alright.
I'll stay up late on the first watch then, as well. Bunnies
Alright.
will have the first watch.
It's bunnies, fairies, dragons.
Actually, yeah, it does. Go figure.
Hmm.
All right, Bob and Tayana, second watch.
I leave the highest passive to the most active watch, which is like the second.
Yep. Alrighty. And so it is probably in the early hours of the third watch that you notice smoke coming from the town of Lethel.
Oh, for fuck's
There's
sake.
a slight incline to the land here, like a vaguely hill-like, so you can't see Lethel from here, but you could definitely see a column of like thick black smoke rising up.
Ah, shit. Just gonna run inside and start booting people awake.
What is it? Something the matter?
Town's burning down. Get up. Go to the next person. Boot. Do the same.
I will immediately put on my armor.
It's just on the feet before you even get close enough to kick. So, wake.
With that massive passive perception.
Yeah.
Yep.
Even the sleep was like a negative, what is 5 or 10?
It's a negative.
Still
It's a
high enough
negative
to actually-
5 when you're asleep.
Yeah.
All right. So the party is awoken late into the last watch by the sight of black smoke rising over the foothills. And the knights begin stepping forward to the town of Lethel.
And
Now,
that's where we're calling it.
I'll at least get you to the town. That would feel really mean otherwise, so you can see what
Okay.
you're bumping into.
Okay.
That would be so beyond cuck. Like, I get it. I've done that many a time, but it's episode 1. I want you to at least see what you're about to fucking bumble into, you know?
Yeah. Fair enough.
Let's see. Okay. It is the early hours of the morn, and you begin to, charge away down the foothills. There is a dirt path that goes from this village to the town, which is unsurprising, all things considered. It's a full town. It would be weird for there not to be a road. As you're, making your way hastily down, what kind of thing do you have as far as a marching order is concerned? Or do you move in like a ring formation or a triangle or what?
Tristan's definitely at the front.
I think I'm somewhere in the middle near the front.
Sure.
Yeah, towards the back.
Yeah. Is it going to be Fauna in the front as well?
Yeah, she's a barbarian. Yeah.
Okay. I think it looked like something like this. And so, I drag you guys over to the map of Lethel. Because as you charge down the road, you can see that there is still these, like, obvious signs of fighting.
Goblins.
Now, she has a big
Goblins.
old map.
Oh, hey, there's that thing we were talking about the other night.
Yeah. As you charge down the clearing, you can see that there are no small number of goblin corpses. There appears to be a wounded man who is like slumped over, surrounded by 2 further dead. He has an arrow in his gut and is failing his last death saves. And there is another figure, a stunningly beautiful figure with elfin features and long silver white hair, and a horse body.
Centaur!
Centaur
There's a
all the way
centaur.
out here.
Hmm.
Oh, Cassiopeia now.
Yes. Congratulations, you found Cassiopeia the Black Knight.
Oh, she's the one we
Huh.
were...
I see why the
Oh,
the master was laughing about her getting up in a tree.
yeah, it would
Yep.
be quite hard for her to get up in the tree.
It would be really weird if I had
Yeah.
ended up in a tree.
But she can be up... Oh, no, she's not a goat. Never mind. I was going to say she'd be up like the side of a mountain.
She's not a
But
goat.
she ain't a goat.
Oh man,
Nope.
I don't want to fight.
Yeah, but it's quite late, unfortunately. There was a lot of establishing and a lot of me being overtly verbose.
No, just
Which
wait
is
till the
fine
next
for the
session
first
with the
section,
fight.
especially.
But let's throw that. It would be remiss of me not to have you do at least one combat roll. How about all of your initiatives, so we know what you're going to be doing when you walk into this?
Okay.
Sure.
Oh,
Now that we're in
Nice.
combat, it's no longer a disadvantage.
Good job, Savin.
At least I didn't edge it.
Alright, select my token.
Right. Let's see here.
Ah, darn! I'm eating the crit there.
It's okay. All your atoms will refresh next week.
Yeah, you'll have new atoms, stronger atoms. Goblin, 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 goblin.
Wait, why'd you roll initiative twice? Isn't initiative
One-
a combat
I forgot-
roll?
I forgot to select my token.
Okay.
Add the first one back in.
All right. I see.
Oh.
And yeah, there are a number of like unconscious villagers, or they've been tied and bound by slaving hobgoblins,
Quite a few.
as they all want to
Hobgoblins.
do.
Those are my antagonists. How dare you?
They're very generic antagonists in this, to be fair. They are the classic D&D hobgoblin. You can tell because I didn't use a hot token for them.
This is true. I think that is
Ah,
actually the
goodness
same
knows there
token
were
Savin
plenty of them.
uses.
We can't even get into melee in the first round. Womp womp.
Womp,
womp.
womp.
Out of character, have to get into melee to be useful.
I mean,
Cat
no.
knows.
See, I'm a Yeeton board character. I can javelin people,
Yeah,
Mhm.
and fucking goblin goes first.
I know,
Shit.
right?
Wow.
They all fight crit.
All right, give XP.
Yeah, I guess we shall jump to everyone's favorite part of the game, experience.
Hooray.
Now then, did you explore a new or interesting location for the first time?
Sure did.
Did you discover a new and interesting truth about the land?
Sure did.
Did you make a new ally or a lasting enemy?
Next week.
I don't
Uh,
think we can count the knights as our new because we've
No,
already been allies with them. Yeah.
I made a new ally. Her name's Belle. She's a sweetie.
She's never been a new ally though. She
Oh.
is the she
I
is
don't know.
she is
I don't think like hitting on the Grandmaster counts as getting an ally, but sure.
No, that was pretty cool too.
No, but that might get a booty call.
Yeah, it
Did
might.
you advance or complete a quest?
We sure
Uh,
got a quest.
We haven't.
Advanced
Well,
it.
no, we did
Have we
make
sure
progress. We found the Black
advanced
Knight.
it?
We won, guys.
Yeah, we found the Black Knight. Now we just gotta save her.
Yeah, so we
Yeah.
advanced it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you now have a secondary little quest handout in your objective section for the Chalice of Companionship.
Yeah.
You defeated a threat far beyond expectations. No. Have you learned anything new about a player character? No, actually, you guys haven't really done that yet.
And we
has
learned
your
they
commitment to
exist.
your oath been-
I mean,
you do
Learned all
learn
their
these.
names.
we learned that they're all very good at something in the whole tournament.
No, that doesn't. None of this counts. All right, 3 XP.
3 experience.
Okay.
Yay!
Yeah.
A third of the way,
Mm-hmm.
so 3/10.
Yeah, like that first quest, that first level, it's not tough to get.
Oh, it's not hard to get, yeah, but it's fucking hard to survive.
Yeah. You have a chance to survive. Make your time.
Mm.
Yeah,
Need to
I apologize. It was so wordacious and verbose for getting you all started in
it's-
this, but there's a lot to establish about this place that
Introductory.
isn't
Yeah, it's fine.
normative.
It's all good.
Yeah, it's a good time. Looking forward to next time even more.
Mhm.
But before then, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, thanks for tuning in. Tonight is Merzen Hammer, in which we all get murdered by heretics. So tune in for that in like 3 hours. And until then, have a good one.